8 in Game 7 to the Boston Celtics on Sunday. Philadelphia joins the likes of Milwaukee, Phoenix, Toronto, and Detroit, all with head coach openings. Otherwise in the association, it is draft lottery day. As far as the Sacramento Kings pole position, last season's success denotes a 24th pick in this year's draft. At 5 p.m., just 30 minutes before Game 1 of the anticipated Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets, fans can tune into ESPN to see where the fateful lottery balls drop. For more coverage on this exciting night, check out Frankie Cardicelli's write-up at SactownSports.com or pull up your Sactown Sports app. And lastly, some Bay Area MLB notes. The San Francisco Giants toppled the Phillies last night 6-3, and across the Bay, A's unable to fall into that win column. Diamondbacks take that one 5-2, consequently dropping Oakland to 9-34.
Ever seen them launch a grand slam?
I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Welcome into Cattles and Ramie.
Not the boring, generic milquetoast stuff coming from the network in Connecticut.
I describe him as the best, obviously.
Cattles.
He throws it out there. Speaks his mind. That's cool.
And Ramie.
He's supposed to make people laugh. He's just an expert at it.
Cattles and Ramie. Live and local in the afternoon.
Sactown Sports.
So I said this when Ramie finished the show with Watkins just a few moments ago. It's like, it feels like my co-host was cheating on me today. Working with C-Dub on the midday show. Like, he comes back from Vegas and he left me. But have no fear. I got my guy JJ here, and he's ready to roll. We got a lot to talk about on this Tuesday. Thanks for joining us as always. It is very much appreciated. And JJ, draft lottery tonight, my man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, right?
I'm a Sacramento King. We don't look for the lottery anymore. It's over.
It snuck up on you.
No, it didn't. Because what's even worse than snuck? Because I didn't even know. It was like I was almost ignorant to the lottery today.
Yeah. I think most of us were. We're like, oh, wait a minute. That's happening this week. That's happening today. Yeah, it's happening tonight. So the NBA draft lottery tonight, and we felt like starting this show today on a day like this. It made a lot of sense to look back at where we were, just about 1 year ago. So let's jump into the hot tub time machine and bring you back roughly a year ago when this happened.
We have our 4: Sacramento, Oklahoma City, the Magic, and the Rockets.
The 4th pick in the 2022 NBA draft presented by State Farm goes to the Sacramento Kings.
Yes, the 4th pick. And if people forgot, I'll remind you, there was an 8.5% chance of getting that 4th pick last year. Less than 10% chance that you were landing the 4th pick in the draft. But yet that's precisely what you received. And it's just so much fun, JJ, to think about. That was a year ago, how all of us were nervous, how all of us were wondering where the Kings would land, who were they going to draft. We were talking Keegan Murray, we were talking Jaden Ivey, we were talking Shaedon Sharpe for weeks upon weeks upon weeks in anticipation of this night. And now a year later, JJ, here we are. And what a difference 365 makes, because now we're talking about a team that won 48 games and was the 3 seed in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I'm just rattle off a few names just in case you did forget, and like myself today was ignorant to the fact that the lottery was happening. Because you know what, we're in the winner's circle, to be honest, Nick. So I don't look outside the winner's circle when I'm on the inside. When I'm on the outside, I'm looking on the inside. I want to be a part of the party, if that makes sense. But Mike Brown, he came at the end of the playoffs last year. Keegan Murray, who was the 4th pick. Kevin Huerter, Kayvon coming over from Atlanta. De'Aaron Fox, because I list him as I know he's been here in Sacramento for the last 4 years prior to that. But the fact of the matter is he was a different guy to me. This year he was a different person. He was two-faced, so to say. As I was leaving the house, the wife was watching Batman. So he was two-faced, so to say. Domantas Sabonis. He came at the end of last year, of course, with the trade, but he was a different guy. I'm talking about 3rd-team All-NBA type guy. Malik Monk, who was signed this offseason. Just a whole new coaching staff.
Yep.
Minus Doug Christie and a few other guys that was on the Coach Doug Christie that was on the roster already. But those are guys that have came from the fact of from last year, a whole 365 to now. And it's got me feeling pretty good, Nick. I'm almost to the point, where it says you now that you've made it, you kind of turn your back on us a little bit. And so I'm trying not to turn my back on it because I feel like we've made it.
Yeah.
And when I say we, I mean the Sacramento Kings, but I know they're not a championship team. We just saw that, but I do feel exonerated in some form or fashion that we're not in the lottery. Finally.
Yeah. Finally not worried about where you can land, not worried about percentages,
Yes.
not worried about
Ping pong balls.
14.5%. We can move up to this spot, that spot, every other spot. Not worried about that.
Right.
You're worried about improving a team that was third in the Western Conference this year, that won 48 games, that took the defending champions to a 7th game at the G1C just a few weeks ago. That's what you're worried about. Your priorities have changed. You know, when you live life, your priorities change at times.
Yep.
And the Kings' priorities have changed. They're not worried about no draft lottery. They're not worried about getting a top 5 pick. They're worried about how can we improve what we just did this past season? How can we take that jump from being the 3rd seed, a playoff team, to maybe a legit contender? That's the focus now. With that said, I do think a couple of things that we need to acknowledge here. Number one, shout out to Monte McNair because he didn't flop on the pick.
Yes.
And look, it might be easier said than done, but when you look at drafts, JJ, nothing will set your organization back. And Kings fans know this better than anybody.
Man. Do I need to start naming names?
No, please don't. We don't.
Prior to you coming to Sacramento and blessing us with the courtside Cattle's magic,
we don't want to. We don't want to bring any. We don't want to bring up any names that are going to drive people off the road.
All right.
But if you swing and miss on a top 5 pick, it does such damage to your franchise for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years if you can't climb out of that hole. So shout out to Monty drafting Keegan. Even if Keegan doesn't end up being the 4th best player in the class, we are very confident he's going to be a really good player for a long time and hopefully, stays healthy and all of that stuff. But if he does that, we've talked about it. His floor is very high. I think his ceiling is multiple-time All-Star. So Monty got it right last year.
Yeah.
I think that's the first thing we've got to recognize is shout out to Monty for getting it right. One of the major reasons why he won the Executive of the Year. Now you look forward, though. And for Monty, JJ, there is no top 5 pick, hopefully, in your future, which means you are not afforded the opportunity to be bailed out by a top 5 pick. Now, of course, you can get injuries and stuff happens, and all of a sudden you find yourself in the top 5, and sometimes it's actually a good thing, right? But if we're looking at this path forward and we're saying to ourselves, which I think all of us are, this team is now legitimate, this team is a playoff team, you do not have that top 5 toy on the shelves to improve your team. You don't have the bailout.
Yeah.
Whoever picks in the top 3 this year, you got Scoot. You obviously have Wembanyama. So there's a number of guys in that top 3, 4, 5 that can really change your franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Monty doesn't have that luxury anymore. So I think that puts pressure on him in the front office.
Yeah, I agree with you. And again, I'll say it. I'll go to the well one more time, Nick. I appreciate the fact of the feeling that not having to look for the savior. The Kings have looked for the savior for so long.
Yep.
For my years on here on the planet, it seems like minus a decade, when you put it all together since 85, that they have been looking for someone to come in and be that guy, be the number 1, be the number 2, be the complimentary star to someone that they already have. And I appreciate the fact of you coming in here and saying that, because it also makes me, and it should make other Kings fans wake up and listen and smell the coffee. Like, look, we're treading in different waters now.
Yep.
We're swimming in a different pool now. We no longer have to sit over on Thanksgiving with the kiddie table anymore. We're actually with the grown folks, that crossover, so that's my whole thing is that, and you laugh, and it's something that popped in my mind. Is completely off the subject, but I remember at a point in time when I was a child and I was still ordering Happy Meals. And then I remember at a certain point in time, and I can distinctly tell you at what age, when I was like, you know what, I want the value meal.
Yeah.
I want to supersize.
Taking that step up.
Come on now. And so that's the part of, that's where I feel with the Kings is, you know what, we're done with the Happy Meal.
Yep.
I'm looking for the value meal. I want the supersize. I want the big cup. I want to transfer over to soda. And when I sit back and I look at the lottery, saying 365 days, there were some great names in last draft. And you talked about Jaden Ivey, who I know you really love and really think he's going to blossom into a lead guard and probably a multiple star all-time NBA All-Star, right?
Absolutely.
But there's some guys. Shaedon Sharpe is tough, man. Damian Lillard likes him. Jabari Smith is someone that looks like he might have, a little gas in the tank. We don't know what Chet Holmgren is going to have. And so I almost want to say, I want to give Monty the love because you still have to hit. And as you said, he hit, but there could have been a couple guys he also could have hit.
That's true.
The Jalen Williams and the Jalen Duren. I mean, there's some good guys that was out there, some good players. And so all in all, I'm just happy, Nick. I'm ecstatic the fact that we're playing at the big boy table.
1 year later, man. 1 year later, instead of, wishing and hoping and praying for a top 3-4 pick, now we're talking about a team that's trying to add to the third seed in the Western Conference. And the mission moving forward is simple. Don't go back.
Yes.
Don't fall back.
Man.
Don't go back. Don't step back. You got to keep this moving forward and keep it rolling. We want your thoughts as we get ready for NBA Draft Lottery Day, which really isn't that big of a deal here in Sacramento, which is great news. 916-339-1140 is the text line. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. Don't forget, you can visit us on YouTube, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. JJ's in for Ramie today. Ramie back tomorrow. We'll get to your reaction. Also, another day, another big-named NBA head coach gets fired. We'll have the latest in 90 seconds.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Dude, if I bought the Giants, my favorite baseball team, the very first special advisor to the owner would be Will Clark. And he would sit next to me, and we would hang out, and I would pay him an ungodly amount of money so he could pretend to be my friend. And I'd be like, hey, Thrill, what can I do? Like, what do you want? He'd be like, well, Dave, I want, because that's how he talks. I want to manage the Giants. Done. Will Clark, new manager.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Guys, fellas, men, do you want a better sex life? Roman has genuine medication and helps you achieve and maintain what you need to perform. Roman has discreet wipes that help you last 4 times longer in bed. Roman has testosterone testing and treatment. Treating low testosterone can help revive your sex drive. So men, what are you waiting for? For a better sex life, go to ro.co/bettersex. Do it today and get 20% off. That's ro.co/bettersex.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
Shout out to all the fan bases across the country freaking out right now, hoping to land Victor Wembanyama and hoping that you win those sweepstakes because Sacramento don't have to worry about that anymore. Not worried about that this year. Hopefully not worried about that for another decade. Finishing third in the Western Conference, feeling good. John Williams in the YouTube chat, we shouldn't care. Precisely, John. We shouldn't care. And that's the great news about it. You're not worried about what's going to happen tonight in the draft lottery. You're not hoping and praying and talking to friends. Man, there's a 6.7% chance we land at 5. There's a 14.1%. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to be a mathematician on this Tuesday.
No.
You could just go about your world. You could just do what you do. It's a fantastic feeling. We were talking about JJ and for Ramie today. Ramie did the midday show with Chris and Company.
As I said, I thought about it, not to break your train of thought. Man, Ramie did cheat on you today.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Because I could have jumped with Chris and Ramie could have been here. I don't know if that's the people up top situation or if that Ramie want to come in and get out early. Or...
I feel like I walked into the bedroom and caught him.
Oh, they were vibing. They were vibing. Like,
yeah. What's going on here?
You did, man.
But we were talking about missing on a top 5 pick. We don't want to bring up any names because we know the history here. But Tim E in the YouTube chat says, missing and drafting, is that not what the Dubs are now suffering from in the forced contracts, money problems? Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of it. You missed on Wiseman, who never really seemed like a fit, by the way, with that system. But hey, they took the talent. They passed on Ball. They passed on some others. So yeah, missing on the Wiseman pick is huge. You had the second pick of the draft and you missed. I mean, that could have the whole idea, JJ, was, we're gonna play on both sides of the street here. We got the current core and the dynasty, but we got this young developmental core. And I know I was sitting there at the time going, what the hell?
I know.
The Dubs are going to dominate for like the next
10 more years.
Right, yeah. But they missed on Wiseman. And they obviously, Moody, we'll see.
Yep.
Kuminga, we'll see. But those guys weren't good enough this year to get consistent time in the rotation. And Kuminga's now talking about, get me out of here if I'm not starting.
That's it.
So, yeah,
Send
that
him
hurts.
up here.
And I know people say, oh, Nick, you're from New England. Look, I lived through Rick Pitino, everybody.
Oh, man.
I know about swings and misses,
Walter
okay?
McCarty.
Kedrick Brown, okay? I could talk to you about the year where they were set up to get the first and third picks in the draft, and we were all dreaming about Tim Duncan in the Northeast. We ended up with Chauncey Billups and Ron Mercer. Now, Chauncey ended up being good about 7 years down the road, and Rick, by the way, traded him within a couple of months for Kenny Anderson, but I digress. So,
I love Kenny, man. Kenny's my guy.
I know. I loved Kenny.
It was at the end of his legs.
I didn't love replacing Chauncey with Kenny, but I did love Kenny. So, there are all fan bases that have gone through a situation like that, and that's how you can really ruin. You can really ruin the future. If you swing and miss on a top 5 pick, you could screw things up royally. So I think right now you feel good, but you do have to also acknowledge that you got to get better. And now the pressure is on Monty. We've talked about this. I've talked about this with Ramie a little bit, JJ, and we'll get to Doc Rivers getting fired in a minute or so. But, I've talked about this with Ramie over the last several weeks. Like, the good news is you're not worried about the lottery. Now, the tough part is you have to hit on some of these picks in the late teens and 20s.
Yes.
Because if you swing and miss, that is affordable young talent to your bench. If you swing and miss on those, now you got to go out and spend money, which affects everybody else.
Right, which is something that you've talked about since the trade deadline, and something I've completely agreed with you is we have a shelf full of second-round picks. There are guys in the draft that you are taking an opportunity, a chance, a flyer on. And when you have someone like a Vanderbilt down in Los Angeles, when you have someone maybe like a Cam Reddish who probably can develop here for the Kings if you believe in it, those are the type of things where I'm ready to spend those picks. And that's where I'm a little deterred about the fact of we could have spent some of those draft capital to get something that we kind of know is quality already. And if we put a little oomph and a little muscle and a little TLC into it, it might turn into something bigger. And so now I'm with you. It does put the pressure on, and the fact the Kings will probably be drafting them around 22, 23, 24. That's just how much I've been clocked out. I don't even know where they drafted.
24.
There you go.
24.
So, I mean, come on. I just did the math right off the top of my head. I knew it'd be in the low 20s or the mid 20s. So who knows, man? I know I'm shaking. I'm good. I'm feeling great because I'm not even worried about the draft today, man.
It's a beautiful thing. Gattles and Ramie. No Ramie. JJ in for him today. Ramie back tomorrow. Meanwhile, Doc was fired by Philadelphia this morning. We talked about this yesterday. JJ, I don't think anybody's surprised, but your thoughts on seeing that Doc did get the bullet from Daryl Morey earlier today?
Yeah, well, after Monty Williams was let go, nothing surprises me anymore when it comes to NBA coaching carousel. And to see Doc, someone who you guys eloquently put yesterday has struggled in his game sevens, someone who you've seen a championship come through there with Boston with Doc, and someone who loves the Boston Celtics like yourself, a lifelong fan, and you don't, I want to say respect, but you're not a big fan of Doc, lets me know that Doc was already on the chopping block.
Yeah.
You know, when you win a championship somewhere and you get cut that fast, and then when you have the artillery that he had down in Los Angeles with the Clippers and the Lob City, you couldn't get it done. You had the MVP of Joel Embiid, and of course everything's not on Doc. But at the same time, you got to learn to navigate and pull a couple of strings to get your team a little further than where they've been coming up short in the second round. And so you guys talked about it yesterday, you and Charles Watkins. It really wasn't a surprise. It definitely wasn't a surprise. I'm more of I like Doc because Doc is a little fiery.
Yeah.
I know the media loves Doc because he, as you talked about, gives you great quotes, and he's going to talk and he's going to give you, the paper jerkers, as we call them. But X's and O's, I'm not sure, man. I'm not really sure with Doc. I think
he's not great.
Yeah, I think he's kind of one of those guys that he was an extension of the coach on the court, as a point guard.
Yep.
So people's like, oh, he was a right hand of the coach. He was an extension of the coach. And I think he gets a lot of that credit. and now it's kind of crossed over to him being a head coach, and now he kind of gets the fact that, yeah, he's a championship coach, and we can't take that away from him. But when it comes to X's and O's, strategy, pulling strings, I'm not sure if I see it with Doc.
No, I don't think he's a great strategy guy. I really don't. I don't think – and he's got a really good staff with him in Philly, which has always been the case.
Yep.
He's always had a very strong supporting cast on that coaching staff. He himself, a lot of questions, right? A lot of questions about him. When I saw this morning in our Slack channel, I immediately thought of one person, that was James Harden. I immediately said, if James Harden had any chance of staying in Philadelphia, it was without Doc Rivers. Let's not forget, I mentioned this yesterday, when James Harden got off that plane and Daryl Morey hugged him like, he hadn't seen him in 50 years and it was a long-lost love or significant other or brother or sister.
Ramie.
Yeah, me and Ramie, that embrace. But the that Morey Harden duo, they love they are tied at the hip, man. Morey believes that James Harden is like one of the best players that's ever walked this planet. And I just thought of Harden, and I thought of the post game on Sunday, Game 7, when Harden was asked a question about his future and about Doc, and I thought his answer spoke volumes.
How has your relationship been with Doc, and would you like to see him back?
Our relationship is okay.
Yeah, next question. When somebody says, hey, man, look, James Harden, Joel Embiid, everybody in that room knew. As soon as they lost that game, Doc was on the chopping block.
Yeah.
That was James Harden's opportunity to say, I love Doc, love playing for him. I think he should stay here. When he goes, and he thinks about it, it's okay. Enough is said. And Daryl Morey absolutely heard it, and he knows it. And Ramona Shelburne wrote about this. She said, behind the scenes, one person said to her that it would be hard for them to see James coming back and playing for Doc. This was, hey, we want to keep, I think this is Daryl Morey wanting desperately to keep his binky, and he knew his binky was not going to play for Doc anymore. That's how it is. Meanwhile, the names that have popped up, JJ, this was from Adrian Wojnarowski today.
Yeah.
Mike Budenholzer, Sam Cassell, Mike D'Antoni, Nick Nurse, Frank Vogel, and Monty Williams. And again, I thought of James Harden.
Okay. Mike D'Antoni was
and
on the bench already.
Daryl Morey. And I said, can't be a coincidence that Mike D'Antoni's on that list. I'll tell you what, I don't know how D'Antoni's system would work with Joel Embiid. Good luck.
Yeah.
Pace and three-point shooting?
Doesn't work for him. Yeah, he's not in great shape, as you talked about yesterday. The one thing I have a big beef with that, too, is those are the usual suspects. Same names we keep getting.
Yep.
There's so much repeat, rinse and repeat in the NBA. Where's the names like James Borrego, who had an opportunity and to me kind of got cut short, but looked like he was flourishing a little bit. The Charles Lees, the Doug Christies, the Jerome Allens of the Pistons. Where are those guys? Why aren't they getting opportunity?
It's a great point.
Why we got to keep talking about Frank Vogel?
I think
championship coach, I get it.
There's concern, I think, because it's like, and look, I'm not saying I would be concerned with it. Joe Mazzulla's got, he hasn't been great at all times, but he's a rookie coach, 34 years old, and has Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? But I do think there's a hesitancy, I would have to imagine, that, you got Embiid and you want Harden to come back. Is it too much to ask of a new coach? Because the new guy coming in, it's like, hey, we lost 3 years in a row in the second round.
Sure.
Like this right now, this job, if you take that head coaching job, it's finals or bust.
Championship
Year
or
one,
nothing.
you don't have any wiggle room.
Yep.
And also, look, it's the real world, man. We all work in different businesses. We all have our lives, and we know 95% of the time it's who you know and not what you know.
Sure.
And so, a lot of these names that surface, they have links to the GMs and the owners, and that's how their names pop up. So that's how this world works. But good luck, whoever takes that gig, because again, to me, you can put anybody in that seat. What's going to make something change in Philly is if Joel Embiid shows up in the biggest moments and helps his team get to the Eastern Conference Finals, get to the NBA Finals. If Joel Embiid fails to improve and he's the same guy next year, you're likely looking at the same result.
Doesn't matter who's coaching. And James Harden, too.
916-339-1140 is the text line. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. YouTube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. We'll continue with your reaction. Also tonight, the sports world's next generational talent finds a home. We'll get to that next.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Hand off McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feel super, baby! The 5-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season
On your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
You've heard all of his greatest hits.
I don't want to be anything other than what
And now's your chance to see Grammy-nominated multi-platinum singer-songwriter Gavin DeGraw live at Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville.
you ask me how I'm doing.
Get your tickets now to see Gavin DeGraw, Friday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. Only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
Growing a business brings pressure. It's not easy to maintain momentum and still keep employees engaged. Fortunately, there's Insperity. Their scalable HR solutions help me with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance while giving my employees competitive benefit options. When my people are able to thrive, my business can adapt and prosper. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Save big on your new Silverado at Meta Chevy with big discounts off MSRP on a big selection. Plus,
Available 1.9% financing and no payments for 90 days.
find your savings on your Silverado at MetaChevy.com. Find new roads.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, about get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it
Over there.
are statistically
It's still alive.
unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Uma?
Yep, switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at uma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
It ignites something inside of you. Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
We see a lot of pollutants like trash, pet waste, cigarette butts, pesticides, and fluid leaks from vehicles on our highways and in our waterways. This isn't what we want. Clean waterways, clean creeks. Now that is what we want. You can help change this to that by picking up after your pet, properly disposing of litter, and reducing pesticide use. All Californians can protect our waterways. Learn how at BeRiverFriendly.net.
Are you ready to finance your first home or your next move? Well, let Safe Credit Union's local mortgage team help you get pre-approved before you start looking for that perfect home. Jason Ross here, and now through June 30th, get a $900 lender credit when you choose Safe Credit Union for your home lending needs. And Safe's mortgage team has an excellent record of personalized service because they're all about you. You'll know exactly what to expect and feel supported during each step of the process. Apply for a Safe Home Loan today at safecu.org/get900 and let Safe put you first. Safe Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone. After 3 seasons, the Philadelphia 76ers have dismissed head coach Doc Rivers, the team announced earlier today. The Sixers were eliminated in the Eastern Conference semifinals for a third straight season, losing 112-88 in Game 7 to the Boston Celtics on Sunday. Philadelphia joins the likes of Milwaukee, Phoenix, Toronto, and Detroit, all with head coach openings. Otherwise, in the association, it is draft lottery day. As far as the Sacramento Kings pole position, last season's success denotes a 24th pick in this year's draft. At 5 p.m., just 30 minutes before Game 1 of the anticipated Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets, fans can tune into ESPN to see where the fateful lottery balls drop. For more coverage on this exciting night, check out Frankie Cardicelli's write-up at SactownSports.com or pull up your Sactown Sports app. And lastly, some Bay Area MLB notes. The San Francisco Giants toppled the Phillies last night 6-3, and across the Bay, A's unable to fall into that win column. Diamondbacks take that one 5-2, consequently dropping Oakland to 9-34.
Ever seen them launch a grand slam?
I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. We got Wemby talk coming at you right now on Cattles and Ramie with special co-host Jay Johnson.
One brings Macloff magic, while the other, we're still trying to figure that out.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
We were talking about coaches last segment, Doc Rivers getting fired, and why we see the same old names every time somebody gets poop canned.
Yeah.
And I mentioned relationships. And, you know, it's who you know in this world. And General Long chimed in with Mark Jackson. Yeah. I mean, look no further to the Mark Jackson Sacramento Kings flirtation last summer.
Connection.
That was Vivek. You know, Vivek was a fan of Mark Jackson. And Sam Amick said it last year on this very station, on this brand. He said, look, if Mark Jackson wasn't linked with Vivek, Mark Jackson probably would not have finished in the top 7 as far as coaches they were looking at. And he was one of the finalists. And it wasn't because of Monty.
Yeah.
From all reports and what we know, that was, you know,
why is he connected to the Bucks?
No idea.
No,
I don't know if there's any links there.
Kind of strange.
Not sure. But he has been linked to the Bucks, which we might get to a little bit later. We might not. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in Milwaukee. And there's a lot of job openings, man, that are interesting.
Yes,
Toronto, the Bucks, now
Philly.
the Sixers,
Suns.
the Suns. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out there.
It's
if you're a coach.
It's even to the point, Nick, where I've seen this, and I know you have because you're on your P's and Q's. Ty Lue has been linked to or being interested in some of these openings, and he is coaching for the Clippers now.
Yes,
who have a couple of superstars on their team.
He has specifically been linked to Phoenix. The thought is that KD and Booker want Lue.
Yeah.
But if Lue's under contract, so if that happens,
trade him.
And Phoenix doesn't have much to trade. I mean, they traded everything for KD.
Yeah.
In a normal scenario, you'd say, oh, Phoenix can peel off a first-round pick, or maybe first-round pick and a little bit more for Ty Lue. In their situation, I'm sorry, I'm not trading anything for a coach. You don't have enough assets to trade for talent, let alone a coach. I don't think the Clippers are like, oh, yeah, we'll take Chris Paul. It's not happening. I don't think you can trade Landry Shamet for Tyronn.
You can't sign me up for Landry Shamet?
No, I don't foresee that happening.
You know, the one I do think, though, is I think Phoenix wants to get off of Ayton. I could see them put, dangling with that carrot.
Yeah, I think DeAndre, I would not be surprised whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if both DeAndre and CP3 are out of town.
CP, soft tissues, man. Either he's going to another team or he's got to go into the masseuse because it's time to get that body right.
Yeah, I don't see I would bet against both of those individuals back with the Suns next year. I think DeAndre is as good as gone. And CP3, but CP3's got relationships and friendships, so maybe he survives. Draft lottery night tonight, and everybody and their mothers talking about Victor Wembanyama. I saw ESPN. They did like a 3 or 4 part series over the last several days on Wembanyama. Jay Billis, I saw a video of Jay Billis when he asked a question and then answered it himself. If you were starting an organization, if you were starting a franchise, would you rather draft Wembanyama or LeBron in his prime? And he said he thinks many teams would lean Wembanyama.
Yeah, he's sick.
Because of where the game has gone. The hype is real. Here was Adrian Wojnarowski today on ESPN talking Wemby.
This is the most highly anticipated player to ever enter the NBA. And this is maybe not only the greatest prospect in the NBA's history, maybe the greatest prospect in the history of team sports.
Wow.
Maybe the greatest prospect in the history of team sports.
That's overshooting it. That's overshooting the star. I know we're living in the moment right now, but there have been some guys. LeBron in itself. LeBron going back to high school, and I just stuck to the NBA. I didn't even know Woj was going to
say all of sports, all of the world.
That ridiculous stuff that he was sitting up there talking about, because we're talking about guys that were looked at prospects in junior high, middle school.
Yeah,
this guy came the last year and a half, so I don't even entertain that. But the two that really came to my mind as far as NBA was LeBron for sure.
Yep,
and DeJuan Wagner. DeJuan Wagner was the type of cat in Slam where, he was already in high school. He was considered a great guy. He was, guaranteed number one, guaranteed best player right now, freshman in high school. And that's because him and LeBron went against each other. And, so my thing is those are the two that come to my mind. Wemby is definitely, I put him on the level of DeJuan. I put him on the level of Yao Ming. A lot of people was looking at Yao Ming for a year and a half or two before he came over this way. And I think that's, again, we're living in the moment. I know basketball has changed to a big man being able to extend the floor, shoot it, handle it, Kevin Durant style. Even I saw one part of the 3 or 4 part series on ESPN when we talked about he studied Kevin Durant. That's the person he studied for so long. So, look, someone is going to get lucky until we know that they're unlucky. And Wemby, for everything that I know, he looks fantastic. I don't know about you, Nick. I haven't went into the deep dungeon of looking at that much film about this guy.
Yeah,
I actually kind of want to be surprised when I see him.
I think the game is the game. He's legit.
Yeah.
Whether he stays healthy, we don't know.
That's tough.
I also think we just overlooked the mental part of it. Like, LeBron was obviously super hyped.
Yes.
Like Wembanyama has been super hyped the last 18 months or 2 years. But LeBron was able to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
We hope Wembanyama can handle it, but there's a lot of responsibility and accountability and pressure on this man. Mm-hmm. Like, he's going to come over because he's coming over from France, and he's going to be, the number one pick, hyped guy, and he's going to parachute into a situation where everybody is talking about him, watching him, and that's
France, Nick.
No, that's a lot of pressure. And LeBron, look, I have my beefs with certain things with LeBron, and I've shared them before, right? But the dude, no doubt, is one of the greatest that's ever lived. And the thing that he's been able to do is he's been able to handle all of those pressures. He's been able to handle, social media and TMZ and being in the limelight and being in the crosshairs for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's not easy. Some other names, though, I was thinking of while you were talking. I remember Felipe Lopez was super hyped
coming
back
out of
in
New
the
York.
day.
Woo.
Went to St. John's.
Yes.
Felipe Lopez was like the next MJ.
Went to Vancouver, played for the Grizzlies. Yeah.
And another guy, two guys I'm thinking of too. Bryce Harper.
Okay. Huge baseball wise. Yeah.
High school and stuff.
Dude, he quit. His parents pulled him from high school to put him in wood bat leagues at 15, 16 years old.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep. So Bryce Harper was huge. And in football, I'd say Arch Manning is super hyped.
Just saying.
UT, super
saying.
hyped.
I'm just saying.
But do you guys know anything about Imani Bates?
Of course.
Yeah, he was on the cover of SI.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's coming out this year too.
So interesting list. All right. We'll continue your thoughts on Victor Wembanyama, your thoughts on not worrying about the lottery as a Kings fan. Anything you want to talk about, Doc Rivers as well is on the table. 916-339-1140 is the text line. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. You can always swing by YouTube, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Don't forget to give us that like, give us that thumbs up. Let's try to beat 50 likes today so JJ can brag to Ramie tomorrow.
I'm already on it.
That he beat the 50 piece. So we'll continue with your thoughts. Also coming up, Mike Akers joins us to discuss the A's and their most recent agreement to move.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Nick Cattles from Cattles and Ramie, and I'm reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Start your grilling season right with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill, it's turning me into a pro. Napoleon grills, they have features that other grills just can't match. They're built different, built better, and they're built to last. I'm telling you, I might never want to cook indoors again. Just go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills, now is the best time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Memorial Day is coming, and Elk Grove Kia has deals you'll never forget, like the hottest all-electric EV on the market, the luxurious EV6. Save big with lease specials of $10,000 below MSRP. Not just 1 or 2, but every EV6 in stock. EV's not your thing? Well, how about the sporty 2023 Soul GT line that you can lease for just $99 per month? Come look at all our exciting specials at Elk Grove Kia. Don't worry about credit. No credit, bad credit, charge-offs, repos. Don't worry. Our team has over 100 years of experience. Others say no. Elk Grove Kia says yes. $7,500 Kia lease cash plus $2,500 dealer discount equals $10,000 total savings for EV6 all-in stock Kia finance credit approval required. Not all will qualify. $99 plus tax, 24 month lease, $10K per year, 20 cents per mile over, 0 security deposit required, $52.50 customer cash required, incentive residual of $17,781.95 subject to Kia finance, tier 1 approval, 1 of this payment, GK 8781210533 offer expires 5/31/23.
Turn your highway into a smileway. Elk Grove Kia.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Pain is not normal. Repeat, pain is not normal. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here with the Good Feet Store. Does this sound familiar? It's the end of the workday, and the pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back is unrelenting. Good Feet understands that you've likely already tried assorted remedies and solutions with no relief. And now you're pretty much resigned to living with the pain. But do not give in to the pain. Instead, come to the Good Feet store for their end-to-end 3-step arch support system. Good Feet is the nation's largest manufacturer and retailer of personalized arch supports. With arch supports in over 300 sizes, styles, and flexibilities, and an arch support specialist in each store. Come in today for a free, no-obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk around the store or around the center. Experience the comfort, balance, and support possible with the Good Feet system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now in Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
Quick Quack Car Wash is excited to announce Ceramic Duck, the stronger, shinier, luckier car wash experience that can only be found at Quick Quack. Their new Ceramic Duck car wash provides unparalleled protection from dirt, grime, rain, and UV rays while giving your car a noticeably deeper shine and smoother finish. With consistent use, you'll build a shine that will have you looking spectacular for days. Try the premium wash at 50% off by texting DUCK to 41284. So come on, experience Ceramic Duck today. You and your car will be glad you did.
Cattles and Ramie.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
All right, we'll get back to Kings. We'll get back to basketball. We'll get to the Western Conference Finals in a little bit as well. Cattles and Ramie. JJ in for Ramie today. Ramie hosted alongside Chris for Chris and Company in the midday. Ramie back here tomorrow. But right now, let's head to the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. We're joined by Mick Akers from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Talk some A's here. And Mick, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time. Just your thoughts on the second announced binding agreement for the A's to relocate. This time, the agreements with Bally's.
Yeah, so this whole process has kind of been playing out over the last 2 years or so. The Trop site came up pretty early, and it stayed on the list after, they whittled it down from a list of over 20, and it eventually went down to about 3. So, once it was down to the 3, I thought, hey, that's the one they probably want. So you fast forward and they hop over to the Wild Wild West site, which is a mile west of it on the same street, Tropicana. So when that occurred, that was a little surprising. Obviously, everyone thought that was, hey, that's a site. And then all of a sudden, Tropicana comes back into the fray. And then, just so happens that Bally's Corp offer their 9 acres of land on the strip for free, to entice them to come back over there. So, that kind of made the surprising move make a little bit more sense, saying, hey, instead of paying $100-something million over here, you're going to get this land here for free and be on the strip.
Mick, quite frankly, man, as an Oakland A's fan, lifelong Oakland A's fan, I know the Oakland A's, the organization, the team, they want to be in Las Vegas. But in your opinion, does Las Vegas really want the A's?
Yeah, we're kind of in the midst of a pro sports revolution going on here in Vegas. Just started with the Knights, and then we got Raiders, Aces, and now we're potentially, looking at NBA with the Oakview group, looking at, Las Vegas Boulevard and Warm Springs, and now we have the A's, obviously been around here for 2 years. When it first kind of started happening, people thought they were kind of using Las Vegas as leverage maybe to get a better deal in Oakland. Now we're here, 2 years later. Everything kind of seemed to progress towards Vegas. It seemed like all the momentum was, just shifting there slowly, but all of a sudden now here we are where it's like, hey, we're looking to get this money and get this thing going. So, people have kind of been, over the last 2 years at first, since they thought it was leverage, they kind of weren't on board, it seemed like, for the most part. So, this since this has grown and, the process has played out, it seems like a lot more fans are, looking forward to it. And I've seen a lot more A's hats popping up around town too. So that, that's pretty good indicator that people are kind of taking to it already.
Mick Akers from the Las Vegas Review-Journal is with us here on Cattles and Ramie. JJ in for Ramie, Sactown Sports. They're wearing hats, Mick, but will the A's get the hundreds of millions they seek from the public financing?
Yeah, that's what everyone's waiting to see. Obviously, still haven't filed the bill. Indications where it's supposed to happen sometime this week. Obviously, we're here on Tuesday, so plenty of time left this week. So once it gets filed, which we've been told it's about a $395 million ask, down from the $501 that they were going to have over on the Wild Wild West site. So still a pretty big chunk of change. It would just be generated mainly by a tax district, maybe some other mechanisms, but that would be the main provider for it, which is kind of setting up a district around the stadium itself, and we'll kind of take the taxes that generates and then put it and pay off the bonds that would have to do over 30 years. So we've had the one with the Raiders, $750 million. That was a room tax that anyone that stays in a hotel room here in the Las Vegas Valley will be paying that less than 1%. So that's been generating money since March of 2017. Just when the Raiders stuff started happening out here, even before construction. So people were looking at a little bit of a different light, since it's not adding a new tax. It's kind of taking away taxes that will be generated. So, in a way, it's taking away tax money that, that would probably go towards other things here in Clark County. But, for the most part, it seems like there's like a 50-50 split from people you talk to. A lot of people are saying we're in a wait-and-see mode. We want to see what the exact language is, what the ask is, and what kind of, any kind of things they throw in there, that might be something we're not expecting. So a lot of people up in the legislature are kind of just taking a wait-and-see approach, and then once we, see the bill, we'll get a little bit better idea of, what the temperature is up there.
Mickey basically saying that someone who visits Las Vegas frequently, I'm going to be paying for higher resort taxes and more fees, and it's going to be more pressure on my pocket. I get it. I understand. The number $2.5 million annually, that's the goal for the A's and Bally's. That's what they put in their report. It seems a bit too high. They're looking for $2.5 million people to come through that turnstile every year. But that's projecting a sellout pretty much every game. Is that feasible in Las Vegas for a terrible team like the A's?
Well, that's, people look at all the baseball games, but obviously they're looking to host other events there throughout the year as well. Similar thing happened when the Raiders were doing their thing out here, when they were kind of going through the process of getting the stadium approved and the money approved. And they were throwing out these numbers of, how many people would come here and visit for games and such, and how much percentage opposing fans would be in the stadium on a given game day. Those initial projections are like 27% of fans would be from out of market. And that's trending over 50%, and that's a 60,000, 62,000 plus seat arena there. So twice the size, and they're smashing their projections that they made early on. So people kind of look at this number too and say, hey, that's probably not feasible. When you take the 81 baseball games and say, a dozen larger events, and I'm sure they'll have smaller events like Allegiant Stadium does. They don't just have major events; they have a bunch of small ones that add up to the number. I think that number is feasible. Just the fact that it's going to be more than baseball games they're looking to host there.
Mick Akers with us here, Las Vegas Review Journal. He's on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. My last one for you, Mick, today. Does anyone in Vegas care about John Fisher's track record of shenanigans?
A lot of people ask about, hey, if they come here, is he going to put, the money to keep the team competitive? Obviously, that hasn't been the case in Oakland in recent years. You had Major League Baseball Commissioner Manfred come out saying, hey, the reason why he's not doing that is because he's spending all this money trying to get a stadium done in Oakland. You can take that for what it is. He mentioned $100 million. So he said, I'm confident if they go to Vegas, they're going to field a competitive team. People are worried about that out here. They go, hey, if they come, once the novelty runs off, obviously, people are going to come right away and go to games when it's new. But, if they don't put something on the field that's competitive, then, say a few years down the line, the fans aren't going to be showing up like they're not right now in Oakland. So, that's the big question, if they end up here. Are they going to be competitive? We have Manfred saying, yes, they will. And, that's another wait and see thing. Hey, when they get out here, the excitement's going to, be there. It's going to take a few years. Even right now with the Raiders, it's, still tons of excitement with the games. The second highest on the resale market for the games that were just released last week by NFL. So that buzz is still there. It just remains to be seen if that carries over with Major League Baseball, being that there's so many more games than just 10 home games a year with the NFL.
Mick, the Las Vegas Aviators, a AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's, of course, they play out there in Las Vegas, and I would imagine you've been to the ballpark. The lease for the Oakland A's here is up after next year for the ball club in Oakland, and there's been some talks and conversations that the A's might jump ahead of the process and go down to Las Vegas and play before their new ballpark is open. Does that ballpark, is it feasible? Can it house a team for 2 to 3 years? Kind of what we've heard.
Yeah, it's a fairly new stadium, obviously. It's the nicest one in the minor leagues. About 10,000 people it fits. I would assume there's some areas, there's some party decks they have where I would assume they can add some temporary stands as well and kind of up that maybe more towards 15,000 or so, I would think. So, I haven't heard if that was in the plans yet, but, they've already been looking at this. They're looking at how much it would cost to replace the natural grass field they have there now for artificial field, because, if you're having two teams play 81 games a season, it's not going to hold up. So that's already in the talks. They already have an agreement in place with Howard Hughes Corp, who owns that stadium, that, they would be allowed to play there in the seasons after their lease runs out in Oakland. So they've been having meetings and talking about this. Major League Baseball Commissioner Manfred said he's going to come out here eventually and check it out. He said he hasn't been there yet, but some of his associates have. I think they really are looking at that possibility. So if they get the public money and everything's a go ahead with the stadium, I do believe that they'll be out here playing those 2 seasons or 3, depending on how long it takes to build and first demolish the Tropicana and then build the stadium. So that's going to add a new parade to that. But yeah, I think it's possible, and I think it most likely will happen if they end up out here.
Mick, thanks for the time, man. We appreciate it. Good stuff, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
There goes Mick Akers, Las Vegas Review Journal. All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Look, John Fisher, we Frustrating.
Takes your breath away, Nick. Don't even have the words, right?
Not putting a competitive team on the field for several years, forcing the fan base to be lethargic because you're not giving them good product, and then turning around and saying, look, Oakland doesn't care about its team. We can't fill this stadium. We need to move to Vegas. And then asking Vegas to give you $450, $500 million to help you fund the new fancy stadium. Man, oh man, shenanigans.
And you're, from all accounts, you're not even owning the ballpark. You're going to rent the ballpark.
Shenanigans across the board.
You're going to rent the ballpark.
All right, the Western Conference Finals begins tonight. Our thoughts and predictions are coming up next.
The Kings season might be over, but Sactown sports coverage never stops.
Guys on other teams, when they look at the Sacramento Kings, they feel that this is a fun brand of basketball to play.
Stay tuned all off-season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Get top deals on everything you need to freshen up your yard, like the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, only at Lowe's. Was $199, now just $149. Plus, get your lawn in shape with up to $15 off select Scott's Easy Seed Lawn Repair Mixes. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Scott's offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
M&S Auto Sales is grateful for their many repeat customers. Ask one, and they might say they come back because it's the best car buying experience. Others come back to get the vehicle they want and save a ton of cash on a clean, late model, top-selling vehicle that they can be proud to own. The team at M&S Auto welcomes you, including first-time buyers. El Camino Avenue, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, and no realtor commissions. Call 916-299-6040. That's 916-299-6040 or bridgehavenhomes.com.
Hey, movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. Rev your engines for Fast X, the IMAX experience, playing this week. I am the man that's going to break your family. Piece by piece.
You will never be able to break my family.
The Fast X family is back on the largest screen in Sacramento. Getting tickets is easy. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for reserved seating. Plus, join the free IMAX Directors Club to receive special member pricing on tickets and concession purchases each time you visit the Esquire IMAX Theater.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone. After 3 seasons, the Philadelphia 76ers have dismissed head coach Doc Rivers, the team announced earlier today. The Sixers were eliminated in the Eastern Conference semifinals for a 3rd straight season, losing 112-88 in Game 7 to the Boston Celtics on Sunday. Philadelphia joins the likes of Milwaukee, Phoenix, Toronto, and Detroit, all with head coach openings. Otherwise, in the association, it is draft lottery day. As far as the Sacramento Kings pole position, last season's success denotes a 24th pick in this year's draft. At 5 p.m., just 30 minutes before Game 1 of the anticipated Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets, fans can tune in to ESPN to see where the fateful lottery balls drop. For more coverage on this exciting night, Sactown Sports' very own digital talent, Joe Giroux, has a complete write-up over at SactownSports.com, or you can pull up your Sactown Sports app. And lastly, some Bay Area MLB notes. The San Francisco Giants toppled the Phillies last night 6-3, and across the Bay, A's unable to fall into that win column. Diamondbacks take that one 5-2, consequently dropping Oakland to 9-34.
Ever seen them launch a grand slam?
Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
Hour number 2, what's up on a Tuesday? Cattles and Ramie. Ramie out today. He actually he worked the midday show with Chris. So he was in today, but he's out from this show today as he cheated on us earlier in the day. Got his work done early.
Slacker.
That guy. JJ in for Ramie. Ramie will be back here tomorrow, so I know many of you looking forward to that. So we were just chilling here in the studio, JJ, and we saw ESPN show us LeBron James walking into the arena as we get ready for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. It'll tip at like 5:30-ish. They love playing games at ESPN. They always tip late, so it's probably going to be 5:45 when it officially tips off tonight. And, of course, we've got Denver, the 1 seed, against the Lakers, the 7th seed in the Western Conference this year. Lakers, we know how they got their play-in, blah, blah, blah. But these two teams played against each other back in 2020 in the bubble.
Yeah.
That bubble postseason. What a weird time in our world to watch an empty arena. The guys just playing the finals in the Western Conference Finals and Eastern Conference Finals in a gym.
Jamal Murray balling.
Remember Murray and Mitchell, right? Donovan Mitchell versus Jamal Murray. Man, oh man, that was a series. But so now you fast forward 3 years, and here we are again. We've got the Lakers versus the Nuggets, Western Conference Finals. Here was Anthony Davis talking about the difference between then and now.
We're a different team. I think the biggest thing for us was obviously having Dwight kind of disrupt Jokic a little bit. He's obviously one of the two guys that kind of get them going, him and Jamal Murray. And actually, it's funny that me and Brian talked about it earlier about going back, watching that series and kind of see what we did to kind of figure out how we can best match up and get victories over them.
All right, so JJ, let's start with the obvious matchup. Nikola Jokic versus Anthony Davis. Your thoughts on those guys pitted against each other?
Yeah, give me Jokic all day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right? I know AD has the talent. I know he's shown that he can have great games. I know he's shown that he has had great series. He's played decently or above average. Let's go above average this playoffs. But Jokic is a different animal. And let me also warn AD and LeBron and the rest of that team, Darvin Ham, Jeannie Buss, and anybody else that wants to listen down at the crypt. Nikola Jokic isn't the same guy that he was even back then. He's a different cat, a different character. And as he talked about, look, I'm going to take care of business, then I'm going to go ahead and blast myself on over to Italy and watch the horses run because I got my stuff done early. And so, yeah, Jokic and AD, I expect AD not to even play Jokic a lot. I don't even think the Lakers want to even waste AD on Jokic because if you need AD to play on Jokic when it matters all the time, when you need him to play all the time compared to when it matters, it's going to be a long road for AD because Jokic's going to take him to school. He's going to pull him outside. He's going to take away what AD does, the strength for the Lakers, which is clog the paint, play defense, be the backdrop. So when it comes to the Jokic, give me Jokic. And I honestly really think he's going to dominate AD this series.
It's an interesting matchup. First of all, and AD kind of talked about this a little bit from what you just heard. Back in the bubble, they had 3 cats who were defending Jokic. They rolled multiple bodies against Jokic.
JaVale McGee was the third?
Yeah.
Was it
Dwight Howard, McGee, and Davis.
Right.
And so when you split the defensive responsibilities against Jokic, then your life is much, much easier if you're AD.
Yes.
They don't have that option right now.
No.
So if you are going to defend Jokic with AD, that's a lot. That's a lot to ask for from AD if you expect AD to give you anything offensively. Like if you were able to put AD in the corner defensively and say, hey, look, man, that's your job. You just defend Jokic. We'll get points elsewhere. Then you'd feel good about it, or at least you'd feel better about it. But they need AD to score too.
Absolutely.
So you're going to ask AD to play 40-plus minutes a night, defend Jokic on that end, and then come down and get his on the offensive end. That's a lot to ask. And I think that leads us to this idea that, LeBron, he's going to step up offensively. If you're asking Anthony Davis to defend Jokic and give you some production on the offensive end, LeBron, who doesn't play defense anymore, 95% of the game, he's just checked out. He checked out defensively years ago. And his argument was, I got to check out defensively because I've got to give everything on the other end. So LeBron, who has not been consistently great in this postseason, he's found games here and there where you go, "Ooh, man, LeBron's on one, right? He's playing really well."
Game 6 against the Warriors.
Then other games, he has not been nearly as effective. The Lakers need LeBron to be LeBron every night in this series.
Yes.
They need him playing at a high level offensively every game this series if they want to move on because of what AD is going to deal with regarding Jokic. Which brings me to, JJ, the next question, defending LeBron, if you're the Nuggets. Now, as we talked about the Lakers throwing multiple bodies at Jokic, I think the Nuggets will throw multiple bodies at LeBron. It all starts with Aaron Gordon. I'd imagine that Gordon gets the first crack at LeBron. He's got the frame, he's got the size, he's got the athleticism. Not to say he can shut down LeBron, but Aaron Gordon, if he is truly fully focused defensively, he can make it hard on LeBron. And what we've seen, and this is understandable, the guy's 38 years old. LeBron settles now more than he ever has.
Jump shot.
He settles for threes. He settles for jumpers. And so I think, if Gordon could stay in front, which he has absolutely zero reason not to, again, with his size and athleticism, he is going to force LeBron, I think, to settle again, which means that LeBron has to be incredibly efficient from three, which he hasn't been. And he's got to be incredibly efficient shooting that jump shot as well.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because if I could lift up my laptop and show what everyone said, I had in quotes, this comes down to LeBron. This is the LeBron series. How much does he have left, or how much does he want to hit the gas and go? That's what I had, literally. In the Warrior series, to me, the Dubs, they just didn't have the wings to match LeBron and Vanderbilt. As you said, with the Nuggets, not only do they have Aaron Gordon, they can run Al Green. They're definitely going to put Porter there. They have Thomas Bryant. They got some size in there, man.
Yeah.
And one thing about it is Jokic is still there. You have to figure out what you're going to do with Jokic. And all due respect to Wenyen Gabriel, who's a former Sacramento King, that's not going to get it done.
He ain't got that weight.
Nah, come on, brother. You're going to get that head being snatched off your head, and it's not going to be in the right way. And so for me, this is the LeBron James series. It comes down to, I think we finally get to see, does LeBron still have 30 and 10 left in him?
Every night.
Every night.
Yep.
He's going to have to go 30 and 10 for me, for the most part, to win this series, because you're going to need someone to cancel out Jokic. We know Jokic is going for 30, 10, and probably 10 again almost. And so, to me, this is the LeBron series. We finally get to figure out, is he done as far as the top 3, top 4 in the game, or has he been saving it this offseason, as you talked about, for this very moment? And is he going to press is he going to flip the switch and give everything that he absolutely has? And so it's going to be very interesting to see if he stars and shines or if he still even has that in the body and in the legs. Because I know he has it mentally, but does he have it physically?
Now, the other guy the Lakers have to be concerned with is Jamal Murray, who is healthy. He's playing really well. And I would imagine that the Lakers will start Jared Vanderbilt on Murray and then go from there. Their hopes are that, Vandy does such a great job on Jamal Murray and limits him. Then, if you have to send some help to AD, you can send some help to him. But that Vanderbilt Jamal Murray matchup is critical. I think Murray is such an X factor. If Murray's giving you 25 every night, it's really difficult to beat Denver. Really difficult. If Vanderbilt can keep him to, even if he's scoring 25, but he's shooting 25 shots to get there, Vanderbilt has to make sure he contains Murray as much as he can. And one final point I would say that the pace is huge.
Yes.
And we saw that in the Warriors series, right? The Nuggets have to make sure, especially what we just talked about with LeBron. LeBron's got to give you like 30 and 10 every night. Then the Nuggets have to continue to try to run LeBron out of the gym. And AD, if he's dealing with Jokic on the defensive end, you got to put pressure on his legs and run him out of the gym and try to tire those two guys out.
I like that, Nick. The Jamal Murray thing for me is if Jamal Murray plays like a star, I think Denver is going to go ahead and advance. And I think it's going to be pretty easy. I do believe it comes down to for Denver is they rotate the third guy every night.
Yeah.
Porter, Aaron Gordon, KCP, Bruce Brown. We know Bruce Brown can get down and act a nut when he wants to. And Reggie Jackson. They have capable guys of being that number 3 every night. I think the other thing when it comes to the Lakers is now we're going to see that all the changes that you talked about over the trade deadline, the Vanderbilts, the Malik Beasleys, those type of guys, really the pressure on Austin Reeves. Everybody's in love with Austin Reeves. Well, we're getting ready to see if he can be the number 3 guy against a rotational 3 guy with KCP and Porter and Aaron Gordon and Bruce Brown. Because one thing about Denver, they're going to keep coming.
Yep.
We see that. They're going to keep coming. And if KCP has an off night, Michael Porter's going to go for probably 25. If MPJ can't get it, then Bruce Brown's going to give you 20. And so can the Lakers produce that third scorer as well, as I think is going to be something very interesting to see.
Yeah, Porter Jr. could be sneaky big in this series.
Yeah.
If he gives them that offensive punch, and you got Murray and you got Jokic playing well, again, really tough team to slow down. Who do you got?
Give me Denver in 6.
Me too. I got Nuggets in 6. Let's speak it into existence.
Yeah, please. And I think LeBron saves the Lakers in 1 game. That's the reason why I think 6. If LeBron comes out in first couple of games in Denver, and let's just say they go down 2-0, LeBron doesn't have it in the legs.
Yeah,
I give LA game 3, but after that, it's a gentleman's sweep.
All right, Olyden Polynice, old friend, will join us to talk NBA in 90 seconds.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports. Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Hey, it's Nick Cattles from Cattles and Ramie, and I'm reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Start your grilling season right with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill, it's turning me into a pro. Napoleon grills, they have features that other grills just can't match. They're built different, built better, and they're built to last. I'm telling you, I might never want to cook indoors again. Just go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills, now is the best time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Cattles and Ramie.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
All right, joining us right now, Cattles and Ramie. No Ramie, JJ in for Ramie today. Ramie hosted the midday show with Chris Watkins, Chris and Company. Joining us on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline is old friend Olyden Polynice. He is now a Fox Sports NBA analyst. Thank you very much, Olyden, for joining us. Your time is much appreciated. Let me first ask you about the head coaches right now. Which former head coach that's been fired would you take? Would you take Coach Bud? Would you take Nick Nurse? Would you take Monty Williams? Or would you take Doc Rivers?
That's a great question. I have way different viewpoints about all this, only because I try to look at everything realistically for what it is. And I say, hello?
Yeah. You still there, Olyden?
Oh, okay.
We can hear you.
I didn't know if you guys could hear me. And I say that to say this. I wouldn't take any of them because I just don't feel that any coach, once you get fired within the NBA, you got to take a year off. That's my personal opinion. You got to take a year. You cannot get fired for whatever the reason is. I don't just, like Monty Williams getting fired maybe should not have happened only because, with the Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton injuries. I get that. And the trade that they made, they traded way too much value, But at the same time, there's some coaches just like you get fired, but then you get rewarded with a better job. That makes no sense to me.
Man, my
and
God.
so, but the way the NBA works, it's a rotation. It's like musical chairs. All we're doing is moving over one spot. And so everybody's going to end up going to the old guy's job. And it's just a weird concept within the NBA.
OP, man, I know you've had some things to talk about John Moran, and I respect your opinion, man, going back to for as long as I've known you. And what's your thoughts on the young fella and his choices so far?
Well, his new nickname is El Stupido, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, you got lucky. You got away with the first one. And now you're doing it again. And I'm hearing people make all these different excuses. Well, we got to look out for – no. There's no looking out for anybody. First of all, his father should be the number one person looking out for him. Not his friends, okay, but his father. You're in his life. You sit there in the front row all the time at the games. You have to put your foot down as a parent and say, hey. And the thing about it, it's not like he's 35 years old. He's 23. That means you're only like 5 years removed from the house. And so you should still have a prominent viewpoint within your son's life. And so to me, that's the person I'm most upset with right now are the parents. But then at the end of the day, the NBA has its own rules. It doesn't matter what the state of Tennessee says. The NBA, as its own private entity, has its own rules and guidelines that you have to follow. And so just follow the damn rules.
Olyden Polynice is with us here. Cattles and Ramie. JJ in for Ramie today. Olyden, we're getting ready for the draft lottery, of course, tonight. A lot of talk about Victor Wembanyama. I don't know how much you've watched of him, how much you've talked to people about him, but is he the closest generational talent as far as hype and feel go since LeBron?
He's the most hyped. I don't believe that he's anything that I haven't seen already. And that's what I want people to understand. I'm happy for the young man to get himself in a position where he is right now. But the pundits that are putting all this out there about he's the greatest thing we've ever seen, no, miss me with that. Okay, we've already seen it. We've seen so many different versions of this. We've seen it from the 80s with Ralph Sampson. We've seen Chet Holmgren. We've seen Bol Bol. We've seen Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett. We've seen this iteration. So I'm not buying any of this. There's just a lot of hype right now for a young man, as talented as he is, but we've seen it all. And he's also going to have a lot of problems from a physical standpoint within the NBA. I'm not trying these kids today. I'm not hating on him. I try to look at things realistically. I've seen this movie before.
OP, who does this postseason mean more for at this moment? Is it Nikola Jokic or Jason Tatum? Who needs the championship more in your eyes this year?
Well, those two guys definitely within their franchises. Yeah, I would say, Jokic because he's a 2-time MVP, and Jason Tatum easily could have won one of those as well. But at the same time, you still have a LeBron James within the NBA still playing in the playoffs, and I think it means a lot to his legacy as well. And then Jimmy Butler in Miami trying to do something that, I didn't even think was even possible a month ago, with Miami and what they've gone through, and he's been a big part of that. So everybody's got something to play for right now. We have the whole Lakers, Celtics, 17th championship. That would be great for television to see who can get out, to number 18. So there's a lot of different narratives that could play out within this. And then we have the whole bubble rematch. So the NBA, they're not going to run short of any of that.
That's right.
Olyden Polynice is with us here, Fox Sports NBA analyst on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Cattles and Ramie, JJ in for Ramie on this Tuesday, Sactown Sports. Olyden, how great does AD have to be for the Lakers to advance?
It's all about Anthony Davis. We saw that against the Warriors. We've seen it throughout the year. LeBron is great. LeBron is one of the GOATs. I get that. LeBron will always be LeBron. And if LeBron continues doing his thing, fine. But Anthony Davis is critical to the Lakers winning anything because of what he gives them defensively more than anything else. What he provides defensively cannot be matched right now. And so to me, he's the guy. And when he gets going, it's a lot easier for LeBron to do his thing as well. And then all the rest of the guys, Austin Reeves picks it up, Shooter picks it up. It's an avalanche after that. But he's the key.
OP, I've always wanted to ask you this, man. Coming from Haiti and, of course, sliding on over to the Bronx of New York, who do you consider as the greatest of all time to come out of New York? I know I'm asking a loaded question, but you've got to play with some of the guys. Of course, I've been privy to you being able to work with you and have you on for many years. Who's your guy out of New York, man? Who's the best?
My humble opinion, my personal opinion, and I try not to do the GOAT thing or the best ball time, but out of New York City, I have to go with Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's bottom line. And one of the main reasons why I always pick Kareem is the fact that when they change the rules because of you,
that's true.
That's saying a lot. They literally changed all of college basketball because of Lou Alcindor. And then he also had a shot that is patented with the U.S. government. That's another
that's big time.
I got one more for you, Olyden, before we let you go. I got to ask you, who do you have in the finals?
I have Denver, only because of home court advantage. And a big guy, Jokic, and I have Boston.
All right. His name is Olyden Polynice.
I believe they're just going to have a little bit more than Miami.
Fox Sports NBA analyst. Of course, you all know him here in Sacramento. Olyden, thank you for the time, man. We always appreciate when we can catch up with you. Let's do it again soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. There goes Olyden Polynice on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. This Western Conference Finals series is going to be pretty interesting.
Hey, Nick, let me tell you a story real quick about OP. OP, when I was a kid, man, playing here in Sacramento, there used to be a mall called Florin Mall.
Yep.
No longer there, right? Florin Mall, jewelry stores, all that type of stuff.
All right.
And I'm walking through the mall one day and I remember the day, man. I was going to pick up some new Grand Heels. Grand Heels, brother. Going to pick up some Grand Heels, and I'm walking by, me and my friend, and I look over to the left, and I see someone in a jewelry store. And you could tell by the height, OP's like 6'9", 6'10", whatever the case may be. And I look over, next thing you know, directly straight, I go to his hand. And, man, this dude must have had a wad of cash that, has a whatever at that point in time.
Right.
10, 11, 12-year-old. Man, this dude was, a fat stack of cabbage, bro. And I'm looking, and I look around the neck, and he's already got 5 chains on now. Now, again, man, this is mid-90s, late 90s, whenever OP was here. Has to be because Grand Hill came out in 95. So somewhere around there. But I was just so amazed, man. And I look up, and I didn't even care that it was OP. I was just the fact that, man, this dude probably had about $10K in change ready to pull out the, go grab him a necklace.
He wasn't playing.
Nah, he wasn't.
He wasn't playing.
Nah,
he was ready for that jewelry.
I respect that.
So thanks to OP again for joining us here at Cattles and Ramie. Of course, JJ, he's in for Ramie today. Ramie filled in the midday and worked with Chris Watkins. He was the company. Yeah, Ramie was the company today, and he cheated on us.
How you leave your own show that you have in a moniker to go be a assistant on someone else's?
Unbelievable.
Cold game.
Unbelievable. You don't care. Is another NBA superstar eyeing Phoenix, feeling it or fraudulent next?
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports. The Kings season might be over, but Sactown Sports coverage never stops.
Expectations coming into the season and how we performed. I mean, it's one of the more special seasons that I've had in my 11 years.
Stay tuned all off season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday forecast, bright sunshine, much warmer day today with highs topping out in the mid-90s. Plan for overnight lows in the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, a bug, get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it
Over there!
are statistically
It's still alive.
unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, it's Trudy over at Bell Brothers, the No Surprise guys. And we are looking to hire 15 call center reps right now for both long-term positions and seasonal workers. Our starting pay is great, more than you'd expect, with paid training and full benefits that kick in after just 90 days. Health insurance, dental, and vision. Are you getting benefits where you work now? We also guarantee 40 hours a week, so you never have to worry about unexpected small paychecks because you couldn't get the hours. We also offer performance bonuses and plenty of room for growth opportunities in the company. For seasonal workers, we offer the same great pay and paid training, plus flexible hours to fit your schedule. Show up at the Bell Brothers office on Norton Road in Sacramento this Saturday morning at 8 a.m. for an interview. You can find the address and more information at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's thenosurpriseguys.com. Remember, be there at 8 o'clock this Saturday morning. Thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Are you ready to finance your first home or your next move? Well, let Safe Credit Union's local mortgage team help you get pre-approved before you start looking for that perfect home. Jason Ross here, and now through June 30th, get a $900 lender credit when you choose Safe Credit Union for your home lending needs. And Safe's mortgage team has an excellent record of personalized service because they're all about you. You'll know exactly what to expect and feel supported during each step of the process. Apply for a Safe Home Loan today at safecu.org/get900 and let Safe put you first. Safe Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender.
Everyone knows Elk Grove Kia is home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new Kia. But did you also know that Elk Grove Kia is your one-stop place for used cars? I'm talking over 300 used cars available. With Kia's certified program, with its 165-point quality assurance inspection, we know peace of mind on used cars is important. And that's why we also offer extended service agreements on all our used makes and models. Most prices are under Kelley Blue Book retail. New car protection at used car prices. From used sports cars to used delivery vans, we got them all at Elk Grove Kia. And our financing folks have over 100 years of combined experience. So we approve just about everyone. No credit, little credit, bad credit, no problem. And Elk Grove Kia is proud of our don't like it, bring it back guarantee for up to 3 days or 150 miles, no questions asked. Why would you buy your used car anywhere else? So check us out online at elkgrovekia.com today.
Turn your highway into a smileway. Elk Grove Kia.
During a Flex Alert, let's do the dishes after 9.
What about the laundry?
It can wait until tonight, or even the morning.
The AC?
It's at 78. Let's cool the house in the morning.
All right, so we're just chilling until 9.
Pretty much. And we can help avoid a power outage.
Putting off chores for later and hanging out with my best friend? I love Flex.
Maybe you should just unplug the appliances downstairs.
Good idea. Better acoustics in the basement.
California, the power is ours with Flex Alerts. Flex Alerts, the power is ours.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone. After 3 seasons, the Philadelphia 76ers have dismissed head coach Doc Rivers, the team announced earlier today. The Sixers were eliminated in the Eastern Conference semifinals for a 3rd straight season, losing 112-88 in Game 7 to the Boston Celtics on Sunday. Philadelphia joins the likes of Milwaukee, Phoenix, Toronto, and Detroit, all with head coach openings. Otherwise, in the association, it is draft lottery day. As far as the Sacramento Kings pole position, last season's success denotes a 24th pick in this year's draft. At 5 p.m., just 30 minutes before Game 1 of the anticipated Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets, fans can tune into ESPN to see where the fateful lottery balls drop. For more coverage on this exciting night, Sactown Sports' very own digital talent, Joe Giroux, has a complete write-up over at SactownSports.com, or you can pull up your Sactown Sports app. And lastly, some Bay Area MLB notes. The San Francisco Giants toppled the Phillies last night 6-3, and across the Bay, A's unable to fall into that win column. Diamondbacks take that one 5-2, consequently dropping Oakland to 9-34.
Ever seen them launch a grand slam?
I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. We got Feeling It or Fraudulent right now on Cattles and Ramie with special co-host Jay Johnson.
Is it really real or is it fake? Truth or fugazi? It's time to find out. It's Feeling It or Fraudulent.
By the way, I'll take a victory lap quick because Steve Kerr today told the media that the Warriors never rebuilt their trust after Draymond Green knocked out Jordan Poole. So to all the people who are telling me, not a big deal, this happens all the time. NBA practices, this ain't that big of a deal, Nick. You're making too much of it. When I said, this punch could end up screwing up things for the Warriors. Well, Steve Kerr, the coach, the man who runs the program, told us today that's precisely what happened. So I'll enjoy my victory lap. I'm sure many people are going to apologize to me. Of course they won't. It's 2023.
Shouts out to you, bro. I'm going to give you a flower.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Before we get to Feeling It or Fraudulent, we have some Kings news. Got some Kings news. You want to add...
We moved up to the top 5 picks?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
You want to add another position of need for this team. So Matthew Dellavedova, this should not surprise too many people, but Delly's gone. Delly's returning to Melbourne United on a 2-year deal. He says he just wants to play. Can't fault the man.
That's right.
Wants to play before he gets too old to play. So Delly is leaving. So now, you could use that third guard. Not going to play a ton unless you move on from Davion. But you would like a trusty hand in that third guard spot behind, Fox and Davion. Of course, you could use Monk there a little bit, too, if you need be. But I like the idea of going to get a grizzled veteran point guard. I don't know who it would be yet. I haven't looked up names, but somebody who you can trust if one of those guys goes out to give you 5 to 10 minutes of trustworthy basketball.
I like where you're going there, Nick, and salute to Delly for coming on over here and playing a part of being a player's coach, coach player, however you want to put it, and, leading some of these youngsters and guiding them and giving them the look, the mentorship that some of these youngsters need, including probably De'Aaron and Davion. It seemed like he was not only a fan favorite, but a lot of people in the locker room loved him. We heard quite high comments about him throughout the season from guys. And so salute to him. Just as you said, man, as long as the Lord is blessing you to be physically and capable to go and play, man, go and do it. So salute to him. Get your check as well, Deli. Congratulations, man.
Get paid.
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's get the feeling of fraudulent. James Harden, Philadelphia, the 76ers, their season is over. And Doc was fired earlier today. He gone. And Brian
Geltzeiler.
Thank you.
Yeah. Friend of the show. We had him on once.
Brian Geltzeiler from NBA Sirius XM Radio yesterday, JJ, reported that the Phoenix Suns are on James Harden's radar. Harden and Phoenix, feeling it or fraudulent, Jay?
Straight up fraudulent. Phoenix should be looking for complementary pieces on the wing, just as the Kings are at the moment, should be doing. And quite frankly, just about all of the NBA is looking for wings. They're looking for guys to find it the hardest spot to fit in this league, in my opinion. They should be in on that, just about everyone, just as I said, the Kings. No need. You talked about Chris Paul earlier, Nick. No need to replace Chris Paul, because I think CP3 is on his way out, with James Harden. Pretty much the same guy, which means when it counts in the playoffs, they're injury prone. They tuck tail. Now, I will say this, CP3 throughout his career has played pretty well in the playoffs when he's healthy.
Yeah.
He just hasn't been able to stay on the court. But no need to replace a guy that has soft tissue issues. I keep saying that. Yeah, man. That hammy, soft in the gut, little belly, like to eat a little bit, which I'm good with. Look, I'm soft in the belly too now. I indulge.
Amen, especially when you hit your 40s.
Come on, man, my delicatessens. I like the delicatessens, my man. And so with that being said, it's kind of one of those things where, look, Harden has never been in peak physical condition, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Chris Paul has never been in peak physical condition, in my opinion. Even going back to New Orleans, he just didn't. He never was chiseled. And I understand everyone's body composition isn't the same. But to me, those guys have never been in peak condition. And there's no need, if we're talking about now when their guys are pushing their late 30s and early 40s, which both of them are, to replace one with the other, because I believe Chris Paul is out the door. Fraudulent. Need a young gun, man. Spin Paul. Go get a young gun. Someone like you just had, Mr. Bridges. Get that offense up. Someone get up and down the floor and let your two stars dominate.
Yeah, I'm with you. Fraudulent. Could you imagine James Harden, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant on the same team, how that would work?
That'd be great.
Give me the basketball. No, give me the basketball. No, give me the basketball. No, I want it. No, I want it. No, I want it. You can't have three players with usage over like 30%. That's just not going to work. Not enough basketballs, I think. And when you look at Phoenix, lots of shuffling, right? Like I honestly believe, I said this earlier in the show, and I'll stand by it. I'd say CP3, I could easily see be gone in this offseason. Same thing with DeAndre Ayton. And how's the money work, right? Like you just can't bring in James Harden, who's going to want the max or near it, when you've got KD and Booker already on the books. You got CP3 with his partial guarantee, and then you got DeAndre making big-time max money. So how can you possibly put all of that together? You have to shuffle the deck pretty dramatically, and it doesn't address Phoenix's weaknesses. If you think about what Phoenix needs, number one, defense. Their defense was atrocious in the postseason. That's not going to get better with James Harden on your roster. So defensively, you don't get better. You mentioned Mikal Bridges. They need some wing depth. And James is not a wing, man. He's a guard. That's what he is, especially as he ages. He's not going to be able to handle those, longer, more athletic cats as he gets older. He wasn't able to do it when he was in his 20s, let alone his mid-30s. So get a reliable third option. I'm with you, JJ. Find that third guy. You don't need to go out and try to, change everything to bring in somebody for that third role. You don't have to sacrifice what I think you'd be sacrificing to bring in a James Harden. Thanks, but no thanks.
I almost want to flip it here, and I'm thinking from the Kings' point of view, because Kyle said something, was like, would love it. You know what? As a Kings guy, I would love it, because I don't think it would work. Just as you spoke on it. I don't think if you brought James Harden along with Devin Booker and KD, and whoever you kept between the Ayton and the Paul, I don't think it would work. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it now. I just flipped it right now. I'm feeling
yes.
it. Wow.
See, there's a difference.
I'm feeling it.
The difference between making basketball sense and wanting to see it. Do I want to see it? Absolutely, please.
If we want to put the tent over the circus.
Yes, please.
Right.
I want James Harden, bring in a Fred VanVleet, put that together. That team would be
now
interesting.
you're trying to be too good. I'm saying for the fact of the matter that it would crumble and it would allow the Kings to, step in front of them. So I'm feeling
I totally understand what you're saying. Yes, if the Suns blow up in a fiery, well, I was going to say sun, pun intended, but if they blow up like that, it would be amazing to watch for the Kings.
All right, so we both, I guess feeling it if you want to watch the sideshow.
Yes, and fraudulent.
Fraudulent from basketball standpoint.
No, it'd be ugly basketball.
916-339-1140 is that text line. Hit it up. Phone line is 1-800-920-1140. Also, you can visit us at YouTube, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. We're kind of stuck in neutral at 30 likes. We might have to resort to getting Simone on the microphone. Jeez, I said we might have to resort.
She heard her name. She was ready.
Yeah, 0.2 seconds later. Hello, I'm here for you. All right, we'll continue this madness. You won't believe what an ESPN play-by-play broadcaster asked a player during a game. You'll hear that, and we'll have much more next.
Cattles
and Ramie.
Sactown Sports. Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp, and the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight, a very mild evening. Early tomorrow morning, our temperatures will be in the upper 50s. Tomorrow will be sunny and warm with highs in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Right now at the Roseville Auto Mall, we've got the best Memorial Day savings and selection we've had in years. Head out to Eureka Road off I-80 and kick off summer with a new car, truck, or SUV during the giant Memorial Day sale at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. Rev your engines for Fast X, the IMAX experience, playing this week.
I am the man that's going to break your family. Piece by piece. You will never be able to break my family.
The Fast X family is back on the largest screen in Sacramento. Getting tickets is easy. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for reserved seating. Plus, join the free IMAX Directors Club to receive special member pricing on tickets and concession purchases each time you visit the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Quick Quack Car Wash is excited to announce Ceramic Duck, the stronger, shinier, luckier car wash experience that can only be found at Quick Quack. Their new Ceramic Duck car wash provides unparalleled protection from dirt, grime, rain, and UV rays while giving your car a noticeably deeper shine and smoother finish. With consistent use, you'll build a shine that will have you looking spectacular for days. Try the premium wash at 50% off by texting DUCK to 41284. So come on, experience Ceramic Duck today. You and your car will be glad you did.
When you're ready to get properly fitted for golf clubs, join the thousands of Northern California golfers who visited the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio. Players of all abilities found the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers answers to questions about golf club fitting. You'll find a professional staff of fitters, major equipment brands, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan. See for yourself at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Call 916-808-2531 to schedule your fitting. 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
Got some reaction here for you before we get to an ESPN play-by-play broadcaster asking a ridiculous question to a player. We'll get to that in a little bit. First, JJ was talking about the soft belly cats, and Scooter916 said, "Easy, JJ. Women love us soft belly cats."
Better believe it. Never said I was. I said I was one myself.
I was going to bring Simone in, seeing that she's the woman who works on this show. Simone, can you confirm or deny that you love soft-bellied cats?
I can confirm.
There you go.
Do you think she's
a little
just
bit of
saying
brie?
that?
No, I can confirm.
No, I say Simone loves everyone.
It's true.
Simone is the type of person, I think she has an open mind for absolutely anything. As long as you treat Simone right, she'll treat you right.
All right.
That's right. Oh, I love beautiful. flowers, man. What can I say?
Soft-bellied cats.
That's
Here
it.
we are.
Lovable, squeezable, Nick.
JJ also brought up the Florin Mall.
Straight up.
And Charlie Bartholomew weighed in and said he got his first pair of T-Max.
That's right.
From the Florin Mall.
Adidas.
And Manny Too Legit said, I remember the Florin Mall. He says it's a Walmart now.
Yes, it is.
Well,
that's sad.
Along with AutoZone, and I can continue. Fire Wings is over there, and yeah, man.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, bro. I'm from South Sac, man. So I can go up and down Florin Road and hit the Oxford Street, and I mean, look, we can open the whole door for that, but we have a sports show to talk about.
We also talked about the Lakers and Nuggets Western Conference Finals starting tonight. Both JJ and I have the Nuggets in 6. Tim E, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. He chats up. Let's get to why the rested, quote-unquote, old Lakers must get their necessary away game win tonight. If not, the Nuggets keep serving, win the series as the gas goes out of the Lakers. I will say this, and Olyden Polynice, who joined us earlier this hour, mentioned this, JJ. Home court advantage, we always get wrapped up in the idea of home court advantage. Really hasn't been that big of an advantage for a team like Boston, for example. I think they're like 9-8 in their last 17 home games in the postseason, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Denver has been really good at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so that obviously puts the pressure right from the get-go on the Lakers. You feel like they've got to get one from Denver. And in a perfect world for them, they get one of these first two.
Yeah. I think I saw something from Chris Palmer, NBA writer, reporter Chris Palmer, that said the Lakers haven't lost since March 16th at home. And it was either March 16th or March 24th. I don't know why my mind is different, but anyway it goes, it's been a couple of months at this point. And so if they still won on the road and high altitude, it's definitely going to be a little tough from what we've seen to come back to Los Angeles, to the crypt, and get one, I believe. But I'm hoping Denver holds serve because, I'm interested to see how LeBron rears his head this series. If Denver gets the first one, are we going to see all hands on deck LeBron game 2? Or does LeBron feel like, you know what, we need to go get this one today? And is it all hands on deck LeBron today, and we see what happened down the road?
And look, I talked about pace earlier in the show. And in Denver, high altitude, even more of a reason to really push the pace in the first couple of games to try to get that 2-zip lead. And if you get that 2-zip lead, then you feel like, hey, man, if we could just steal one, if we could possibly steal one in LA, then do we think that if you're the Nuggets, are you sitting there saying, do we think that the Lakers can beat us 3 straight times to get to the finals?
Yeah,
that would be That would be a tall task. Very tall task. All right. Meanwhile, I had to play this today because this is just crazy. So ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, obviously it was Mother's Day on Sunday. And ESPN was in Boston for the Red Sox-Cardinals game, which ended up stinking up the joint. But
you watch it?
About an inning, and then it got bad, and I moved on quick.
That's fine.
But Carl Ravitch is doing now play-by-play for Sunday Night Baseball. And they do this thing where they'll mic a player, and they'll talk to the player during the game at times. I love it.
I like that.
Love the idea. Did not love Carl Ravitch's question for Red Sox first baseman Tristan Casas.
3-0 to Gorman. You know, we had Alex Cora on. I know your mom passed away when you were young. What does Mother's Day mean to you and your brother?
Yeah, you know, what happened was unfortunate to me, but I have so many mother figures in my life. Whether they have my last name or whether they don't, I've had so much support from everybody, you know, around in and around my circle that I don't even feel like I missed out on anything.
3-0 count. Tristan, I know your mom died. It's Mother's Day. Tell me about it.
Man, I have great support in my life.
Poor Tristan Casas. If you see his reaction to this, he's like, I don't know if I'd say stunned or I don't know what I would say. He's just kind of like looking up like, yeah, yep,
yeah,
that happened.
Yeah, it takes the air out of your lungs. It's so bad.
I edited the pause a little bit. The pause was like 2 seconds longer in between when he asked the question and when he realizes, oh, wait, he's actually done. Okay.
I mean, the transition.
Yeah.
3-0 count here. Tristan.
3-0 to Gorman. You know, we had Alex Cora on. I know your mom passed away when you
3-0.
3-0, but let's talk about your mom.
3-0 to Gorman.
Yeah. Awful timing.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask that question.
Yes.
Especially when the dude is in the middle of a game. He's playing, and you ask him that question. Before the game, yes.
Yeah.
After the game, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. But during the game, 3-0 count. Hey, your mom passed away. How do you take that during Mother's Day? Wait a minute. What? Can you ask me about baseball?
Oh, yeah.
Can we do that? Wasn't really prepared.
3-0 to Gorman.
You know, I was the type of person and still to this day, when I still play a little ball here, when I'm on the baseball field, that's the hour to 3 hours or whatever
to get away
from everything.
Yes.
Everything that your mind, you empty it, you focused on having fun and playing ball, and you know, you're thinking of situations and where you're going and where you're going to move to, and exactly. It's a getaway, Nick.
You're trying to get away from those heavy feelings.
Yes, especially on that day.
And it's just, I wonder, like, if you're in the booth with Carl. Like, if I was in the booth with Carl, I'd shoot him a look. I'd be, what? What are you doing?
Shoot him that look again.
Why?
Shoot him that look again, Nick.
Quick, too. Like, what?
That piercing stare.
What are we doing? Did we just do that?
Do you jump in on the question?
No. I lay out.
No, you got to let it happen. You can't.
Let Ravitch sink.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not jumping into that mess.
You're not Titanic. You're not going down with the ship.
That was his decision. He hit the
3-0 to Gorman. You know, we had Alex Cora on. I know your mom passed away when.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
3-0, right to the mom that passed away. Without skipping a beat.
The 3-0 was perfect. I just can't stop laughing at this. The 3-0 count right before that hitting was just excellent because he wasn't ready for it. He's just like, oh, wow, okay, we're going here.
Deep drive by Castellanos. Remember that one? Like, what? What the hell you're doing? Also, one more thing.
3-0 to Gorman.
One more thing I'll say about what I saw over the weekend. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons posted on IG. He's watching the 76ers Celtics game. The 76ers down like 30. He's got a glass of wine on the table in front of him. He's got a blanket over his legs. He's a little chilly. In the middle of May. And he's trolling the 76ers. Ben Simmons, of all people.
Man.
He averaged 7, 6, and 6 this year in 42 games. You're the last guy to be trolling.
That's all right. Kick your feet up.
Dude had a blanket. He was snuggled up, sipping Chardonnay.
He had a onesie on.
The onesie. Man, put the comforter down. Go grab a basketball.
What was the adult onesies they used to sell? What was that?
Snuggie.
Yeah, Snuggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're still around.
Oh, yeah. You know they're definitely around.
I have one at my desk.
A Snuggie?
Yes.
It's not one of the ones that you like wear, but it's basically a Snuggie.
What we're going to do here is.
Yes.
Okay. Simone's going to put the onesie on.
Okay.
There you go.
Got to put the Snuggie on.
Okay. We'll get to 50 likes.
You have to walk in. All right. If we get to 75 likes.
Yeah.
If we get to 75 likes on YouTube today.
Talk to me.
Simone will show up before the end of this show wearing a Snuggie.
You really have that at your desk?
Yes, I know. It's sounding really crazy that
All
I
we need
have
is
so
75.
many trinkets.
All we
but
need
I
is
do.
75 people. 75 likes.
And I'm coming in there with my Snuggie.
Gets that young woman into a Snuggie.
What color is it?
On YouTube.
It's like a blue. I don't know. I'm colorblind.
75 likes. YouTube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Let's get Simone into a Snuggie. And maybe she'll carry in Baby Yoda while she wears the Snuggie. Possibly.
Man, you must have the biggest office in the building.
I don't.
I know. She's got a fridge and everything over there, too.
Like, man.
All right, coming up, we have an excruciating decision for you Kings fans to make.
Cattles
and Ramie.
Sactown Sports. The 49ers 2023 schedule is out and filled with big matchups.
The 49ers start the season with a Week 1 showdown in Pittsburgh.
At home in Week 5 against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
And a Week 13 NFC Championship game rematch with the Eagles.
San Francisco! Plus, get every 49ers game this season on Sactown Sports. Visit SactownSports.com for the latest team news and a full schedule breakdown.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Get top deals on everything you need to freshen up your yard, like the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, only at Lowe's. Was $199, now just $149. Plus, get your lawn in shape with up to $15 off select Scott's Easy Seed Lawn Repair Mixes. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Scott's offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
if these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
It ignites something inside of you. Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Guys, fellas, men, do you want a better sex life? Roman has genuine medication that helps you achieve and maintain what you need to perform. Roman has discreet wipes that help you last 4 times longer in bed. Roman has testosterone testing and treatment. Treating low testosterone can help revive your sex drive. So men, what are you waiting for? For a better sex life, go to ro.co/bettersex. Do it today and get 20% off. That's ro.co/bettersex.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone. After 3 seasons, the Philadelphia 76ers have dismissed head coach Doc Rivers, the team announced earlier today. The Sixers were eliminated in the Eastern Conference semifinals for a 3rd straight season, losing 112-88 in Game 7 to the Boston Celtics on Sunday. Philadelphia joins the likes of Milwaukee, Phoenix, Toronto, and Detroit, all with head coach openings. Otherwise, in the association, it is draft lottery day. As far as the Sacramento Kings pole position, last season's success denotes a 24th pick in this year's draft. At 5 p.m., just 30 minutes before Game 1 of the anticipated Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets, fans can tune in to ESPN to see where the fateful lottery balls drop. For more coverage on this exciting night, Sactown Sports' very own digital talent, Joe Giroux, has a complete write-up over at SactownSports.com, or you can pull up your Sactown Sports app. And lastly, some Bay Area MLB notes. The San Francisco Giants toppled the Phillies last night 6-3, and across the Bay, A's unable to fall into that win column. Diamondbacks take that one 5-2, consequently dropping Oakland to 9-34.
Ever seen them launch a grand slam?
I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Kings fans, Nick and JJ have a real Sophie's Choice for you. It's coming up next on Cattles and Ramie.
One brings Macloff magic, while the other, we're still trying to figure that out.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
All right, so Ramie's out today, JJ in. Ramie's out from this show. He was in for Chris and company in the midday.
Got to watch him, Nick.
Yep.
Keep your eyes on him moving
eyes
forward.
Are on him at all times. I mean, he just cheated right in front of us today.
And once a cheater, always a cheater.
Out in the open. No big deal, right? Here I am with Chris Watkins in the midday.
That's the worst type of cheater.
Yeah.
Don't even care about your feelings.
All pompous about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All confident about his cheating. What are we trying to do here?
Lovable, squeezable, Nick.
So since Ramie's out and JJ's in, I wanted to follow the we have to quit Dylan Brooks conversation, right? I wanted to follow that. Do we really want to continue to talk about Brooks? I was fatigued by the Dylan Brooks talk last week. But then JJ went and screwed everything up because he came up with a good question. And I said, that question is too much fun and too tough to not ask on the show today. So because of JJ, we are putting Dylan Brooks back on the table for today's show. And of course, there are some odds makers out there that have Brooks as, maybe coming to the Kings. The Kings are one of the favorites to land Brooks. And a lot of people, as soon as Memphis let everyone know that Brooks was done there under any circumstances, quote unquote. Funny, they haven't said that about Ja Morant. But under any circumstances, Brooks is out of the mix in Memphis. He's going to be a free agent. Someone else is going to be a free agent this offseason, most likely. And that someone else is Draymond Green.
Yeah.
So we've got Draymond Green on one side. Someone who Kings fans, I think, cannot stand. Most of them. After the Domas stomp, all of that stuff, Draymond is public enemy number one. Then we got Dylan Brooks on the other side. Brooks versus Green. Now, Green, again, he has a decision to make, JJ. He has a player option that he can opt into. Here was Draymond talking on his podcast recently about that impending decision.
Obviously, I have a player option. My agent is Mr. Richard Paul. He is the best in the business. We have not had the opportunity yet to sit down and discuss any future things. If I called Rich during the season and I was like, Rich, all right, so here's what I'm thinking for free agent, he'd probably hang up in my face. Like, he's not ever jumping the gun. He's not about to talk contract during a season unless it's like, yo, we need to get an extension done before the season is over. So as far as future goes, like, what I can tell you is, like I said last night, which is I want to be here. I've been here 11 years. Like, you don't just get that away. You don't just throw that away. And quite frankly, I think we still have more championships that we can and will win. But also an understanding that this is a business. I know the business side of it. I know the penalties that lie ahead with the new CBA. I think winning is worth it. And I know we still will win. When I do have a decision, you will know it here first. How about that?
Well, there you go. If anybody's worried about Draymond's decision, he will announce it on his podcast and alleviate anybody's, headaches and concern about Draymond's future. But JJ's question this morning was, if you had to choose one, and look, it's radio, it's May, we need content, it's a good question, it's a fun question. If you had to choose one to be on the Kings next year, would you choose Draymond or would you choose Brooks? Which one are you taking and why? If you had to take one of them. 916-339-1140 is the text line. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. You can also answer us in the YouTube chat, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. So, JJ, you came up with this question, so I asked you the question. Which one of the two would you take? Would you take Brooks or would you take Draymond?
I'm taking the upside, Nick. I'm taking Dylan Brooks. I think just as he has said and just as he wants to let everyone know and enlighten everyone that he can do more than what he has been capable, what he has shown in Memphis, especially last year. I'm taking the flyer on DB for at least a year or two, and I'll tell you why. He brings, both of them do, but he brings what the Kings need more now than ever. Sitting down there being blessed to have the opportunity to be at every playoff game here at home. I didn't go to one on the road.
Sitting next to Kyrie's
daughter.
Kyle Shanahan. John Lynch.
Say Kyrie's daughter. Kyrie's daughter was such a beautiful young girl. Just a beautiful girl, by the way.
Big deal, JJ, sitting next to me.
Lovable, squeezable, Nick.
I'm nervous sitting next to JJ.
No,
it's such a big deal.
No, you're perfectly fine, brother. They need the toughness. And they need the defense. They need someone who can punch you in the mouth. They need someone who can control themselves. Follow me here. Dylan Brooks, what makes people dislike him for the most part is what he says off the court. He has a couple of things on the court, that he flies off the handle.
He might have backhanded LeBron in the junk.
Maybe. But I mean, look, LeBron just calls that. LeBron has wanted many people to backhand him in the junk. They just have chose not to go that far the length, But unlike Draymond, I think he can handle himself a little more within the lines, within the 48, within the game, on the floor stuff with me. 16.2, 17.2, 18.4. That was his point total prior to this year, 14.3. Perennial 80% free throw shooter. Started in the mid-70s, crept up to 83, 84, dropped down a little bit this year. His numbers went down. He brings what you need. He's not so much as a 3-and-D guy. I think he has a little more to offer. And I'll say this. You said something earlier that caught my attention. Maybe he has something to prove. Maybe he can push the limits and let everyone know that I'm not the guy that everybody is boxing me in. And I took the step back for the greater good of the team this year. But next year, I'm going to go back out and show. And that's what he's told us. So I'm taking him for face value, but he's the guy that the Kings need more than Draymond.
I think I would take Brooks. And I agree with your fit on the floor. I think the fit on the floor is better. Like if Draymond Green to me doesn't necessarily fit the Kings. He is your Sabonis, so to speak, in a way. Like the Warriors utilize Green like they utilize Sabonis. They run some offense through him. He's critical to facilitating within that offensive structure with the movement around him. So if you had him and Domas, you now have two guys who don't love shooting the ball.
Kayvon Looney, Draymond Green.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have Domas, and again, hopefully during this offseason, he works on his assertiveness, and we see next year if teams are, parking in the paint and giving him that 15-footer that he takes it. But teams would do that all day long against Domas and Draymond. They would just lay off of them, and they would say, hey, go ahead. You're almost playing like, I'd say 3.5 on 5 versus playing the 5 on 5. So the fit on the floor. Something else, and I'm going to stand by this. I'm going to keep saying this. When we talk about some of the bigger additions or the bigger addition or big addition this offseason for the Kings, I want to see that first number in the age being a 2 and not a 3. And Dillon Brooks, he's 27 years old. He's still in his prime. Draymond, he's heading into the mid-30s. And so if I'm going to pay money to somebody, I want to pay that money to somebody that can grow alongside this core. You look at Sabonis, who's 27, and everybody else is under that 27 mark in this core. Fox, Herter, Keegan. So if you're trying to stick with that core, I want guys that are in their 20s. And Brooks is 27, so he fits that mold. He fits better on the floor. He fits better from the timeline standpoint. He can knock down threes, theoretically. Wasn't necessarily great this year, but he can theoretically knock down threes. Draymond can't, even on a theoretical basis, consistently.
It's over.
And I also wonder, would you really want to bring in Draymond after the Domas stuff?
No.
I think Domas would be professional about it. I do. But do you want to even bring that into the locker room? Do you even – that's almost – that's playing with some fire, right? The whole handshake thing. And I have no doubt that Draymond would say all the right things. I mean, he Superman punched Jordan Poole out at a practice and was able to work his way through it.
Right hand cross.
So I would go with Dillon Brooks, but I want to know what the people think. If you had, again, the game is, we're playing a game here. If you had to pick one of Draymond or Dillon Brooks to add to this Kings roster for next year, which one would it be and why? 916-339-1140 is the text line. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. YouTube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. We'll get to your reaction. Also, is Sacramento about to add another major sports franchise? We'll have some details for you in 90 seconds.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Dude, if I bought the Giants, my favorite baseball team, the very first special advisor to the owner would be Will Clark. And he would sit next to me, and we would hang out, and I would pay him an ungodly amount of money so he could pretend to be my friend. And I'd be like, hey, Thrill, what can I do? What do you want? He'd be like, well, Dave, I want, because that's how he talks. I want to manage the Giants. Done. Will Clark, new manager.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Family-owned Clark & Rush, celebrating 60 years of serving Sacramento. It's time to convert your gas water heater and furnace to electric. Just turn to the experts at Clark & Rush and Carrier. We electrify more homes than any other contractor in Sacramento. Plus, we'll help you get up to $6,500 in utility rebates. We'll even do the paperwork. Call or visit clark-rush.com.
Smart energy savings is what we do. Clark and Rush.
Call 916-245-2829.
With you 1 mile at a time during the afternoon drive. Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
I just fired up a Twitter poll for you at Nick C Radio. Have some fun here at Nick C Radio. If you had to choose one this offseason to add to the roster, which would you choose, Draymond or Dillon Brooks? Option A is Draymond. Option B is Dillon Brooks. Again, You can follow me on Twitter at Nick C Radio. We also have a YouTube poll up as well, asking you the same question. YouTube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. And if you're just joining us, we're at 52 likes. We're trying to get to 75 likes. If we get to 75 likes before the end of this show, Simone will show herself on YouTube wearing her Snuggie.
My Snuggie.
Simone and a Snuggie. If we get to 75 likes, just for the GIFs that we can use. Yes, I went back to GIF. I'm not doing GIF anymore.
Serving Ben Simmons realness today if we get up to 75 likes.
So youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Try to get those 75 likes, and then you'll have Simone and the Snuggie before we bid you adieu on this Tuesday.
Do you think we could recreate the Ben Simmons photo with Simone?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's not too difficult, right, to recreate that.
Just a table, bottle of wine, couple things, knickknacks, as my grandmother used to
Easy.
call them.
That's Wednesday
By the way,
night.
did you say he was wearing a Snuggie, or did you say he was snuggling earlier?
He was snuggling.
Okay,
he was snuggled in a he was.
Because I wanted to
snuggled
make
in a
sure
blanket.
I didn't want you to feel like I wasn't listening.
Oh no, it's all good, brother. It's all right, man. You're doing.
I know
100 things
Ramie
over
listens
there.
to like 1 out of every 100 words that I say.
No, man, you're doing. Look, one thing I realize, unlike Ramie, is I'm gonna give you credit there, Nick. You're doing 92 things right now.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Ramie doesn't take that seriously.
Ramie's thinking about the next joke.
Absolutely, as he should. He's a comedian.
So we ask you again, pure fun. If you had to choose, or maybe it's excruciating for you, if you had to choose,
why people hate Dillon Brooks so much, man?
If you had to choose between Draymond Green and Dillon Brooks, which one would you choose and why? Nick Town, YouTube, says easy, goes with Draymond Green. P. Diddy Diddy says Draymond would be the new Cousins, man. PF all day long. The new Cousins.
Those are Cousin fans.
TCG, Brooks, if you took Dre, Sabonis would leave after next year. And I brought that up. Not just, from a basketball standpoint, those guys don't necessarily fit great. But with all the shenanigans that happened in that series, are you almost, pouring gasoline on that fire by bringing Draymond into town?
Yeah. It's interesting because I didn't really, my mind didn't go there. I definitely put the Mike Brown and Draymond relationship and forgot about the Domas Draymond relationship.
TC, just think about the team last year, but with Dillon on that team with his edge.
Come on now. One thing we know, he wasn't backing down from the Lakers.
Manny too legit. I don't want to take either as well, but if we had to choose one, I'd say Brooks, but he better be staying on the bench the whole time. Well, no.
That's not going to happen.
That wouldn't be good.
Wouldn't even come.
Text line 916-339-1140. Brooks, because Draymond punched his own teammate. Superman punch. Knocked him straight out.
Man.
Captain
Straight
Falcon.
Out. I mean, that was...
Still to this day, if you're Jordan Poole, are you not trying to fire back on Draymond? Just quickly, I want to divert the show. You letting it ride? You being a bigger man?
What, like now the season's over, so you're going to, you're saying just go with the flamethrower?
As soon as the exit interview, we're done, we're going back.
If you want to leave Golden State. If you want to leave Golden State. But I think if I was in that spot, if I'm Jordan Poole, I'm keeping my mouth closed because you didn't have a great year. You were awful in the postseason. And I think if you go out and start yapping.
But see, I'm not saying yapping, Nick. I'm saying you just got eliminated by the Lakers. You're cleaning out your locker the next day, second day, whatever. You got to do your exit interviews.
Yep.
And you walk by Draymond. You got to see him in the parking lot. That's what I'm talking about.
Are people going to find out about it?
Of course. But
no.
One way or another, listen, if Draymond punching Jordan Poole came out, then just about anything could be. But maybe we go somewhere and lock ourselves in. But I'm just saying, as a man, as someone that got sucker punched and you weren't able to get off your shots, are you at least getting at Draymond and say, man, we gotta handle this behind closed doors?
Well, if you think you got a chance against him.
Okay. Well,
if you think that he's just going to ragdoll you and drag you, maybe Poole's like, I felt that power. I'm staying away from it. He got hit with that right hand. He don't want to get close to the right hand anymore.
He did.
My man got shook.
I got to see you.
It is easier to knock somebody out when they're not,
the body's loose. A little limp. Yeah.
Like, dude hit him with a Superman punch and he wasn't ready for it at all. Timmy must be fun at parties because he says neither. Doesn't matter what we want. Ask Monty.
I agree with you. This is painful.
All right. Well, thanks. Fantastic.
Just not a Dylan Brooks guy.
Who is?
No, I just mean he's not interesting to me.
Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is a Dylan Brooks guy.
Dylan Brooks loves himself some Dylan Brooks.
He does.
And his glasses with the
and he Dylan Brooks doesn't pull the hate out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
like,
kind of indifferent.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
He's like
I don't
irritating.
dislike him. I don't hate him. Yeah, it's like I could stomach him, especially playing for my team.
I nothing Dylan Brooks.
Meanwhile, Cattles and Ramie, JJ in for Ramie. We will get to your reaction, more of your reaction about Dylan Brooks or Draymond Green. I see a number of you lined up, but I did want to touch on this for at least a couple of minutes, JJ. So Elliot Friedman, who is a NHL insider for Sportsnet in Canada, Sacramento, apparently growing interest as an NHL market one day. So Friedman says the NHL is looking at Sacramento as a possibility to host a franchise in their league at some point here. Who knows? It's one day, could be next year, 2 years, 4 years. I'm all for it. Hockey team in Sacramento. Look, I'm obviously originally from the Northeast. I didn't grow up a big hockey guy. I got into hockey when I got a little bit older. I was more baseball and basketball first, and then I grew absolutely in love with football and yada, yada. But, yeah, I mean, look, the fact that Sacramento is a one franchise city in a top 30 market's ridiculous. It's a joke. And I think absolutely, if you got 80% of the passion from what you get for the Kings, for a hockey team, that hockey team, to use a wrestling term, would be one of the most over teams in the entire sport. I think it would be fantastic. Live hockey is incredible. If you've never gone to a live NHL game, not every single person will love it, but I'm telling you, if you go to a live NHL game, it's so much damn fun. It's a great time.
It's an experience.
And in the NHL, expansion teams have a chance.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, the Nashville Predators, the Seattle Kraken just lost last night in a Game 7. Vegas is in the Western Conference Finals. So it's not like one of those things where like NHL expansion teams have done a really good job first couple of years of being meaningful. Yeah. It's not like you're an expansion team and, hey, we'll talk to you in 10 years. It's like you can compete legitimately almost right away. So I'm all for it, man. Add another major sports franchise to this city. I'd love it.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Sac is ready for two sports. We are leading city. We have one of the best state arenas out when it comes to the G1C. Look, the MLS announced today that they're going with San Diego, which if you know anything about the MLS and the history in the Sac Republic, gunning, you can pin it on whoever you want to or why it's not happening. I'm not going down that road, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And if the MLB and the Giants keep playing the hater role, it doesn't look like baseball is ever coming here. And I'll say MLB and the Giants, because the Giants have a big stranglehold of the territory of what's going on.
Yeah. So
bring it, Nick. Come on, brother. Strap it on up. I'm going to put the blades on myself. I'm going to go out. We're going to do this thing. I'm not a hockey guy, but you said it. Las Vegas, it worked. I never knew it would work. San Jose, it's been on top for there. LA, they love it. I'm not sure about Phoenix. You can correct me on Phoenix. I know they're kind of hit and miss, but I mean, they're still there.
They're trying to get a stadium deal is the problem.
So a couple of things here. One Groovy Greg on YouTube says Sacramento can't even land Major League Soccer. Here's the difference, though. The report is that the NHL is interested in Sacramento. It's not that you're trying to recruit the NHL. You're not trying to sell the NHL on you. Mm-hmm. The NHL is looking at Sacramento, which is smart, by the way, because they're looking at Sacramento, say top 30 market, capital of California. The Kings fan base is incredible. There's no baseball team, no football team, obviously the River Cats, but no major sports franchise baseball team. Yeah. The Oakland A's are likely leaving to Vegas, which leaves you even less options.
And you have the built-in rivals, San Jose, LA's, Anaheim's, Las Vegas, Seattle Kraken. You can make that one division.
And for a fact the NHL is looking at the ratings from the NBA playoffs and saying, well, Sacramento, again, passionate. And, some wondering, Beeman saying, does more than 5% of the people in this area watch hockey? Look, man, I'm not sure how many people were watching hockey in Nashville before they got a team.
Or Las Vegas.
And if you ever seen the Las Vegas night, I mean, the Golden Knights are just outrageous.
Crazy.
The pregame stuff, the halftime stuff, the crowd's crazy. Nashville is bananas as a crowd. It's if you build it, they will come kind of scenario.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think it'd be fantastic. I'm telling you, if you've never, many of the people listening that don't watch hockey, not into hockey, I'm telling you, you go to an NHL game with a couple of friends.
Oh, just quick.
Most of you, not all of you, most of you are going to be sold.
Yes.
Most of you are going to go, that was a lot of fun.
It's an experience.
I want to go back.
It is an experience.
And
Nick.
Golden One's one of the best arenas in the country. Like, I think you could do so much.
And again, I'm not pinning the tail on anybody's donkey because we don't know why the MLS has not come here. You can say whatever you want to say why it has not come here, but it's a great point in what you're saying, Nick, is the NHL is interested, and you can believe Vivek is definitely interested in, because we've seen with the River Cats, we've seen him put his name in the hat a little bit when it comes to the Premier League and over that way with soccer. He's looking to expand. Something he's got the itch for expansion, and you can believe they're coming to him and to talk to him first. Look, before we go move any further, are you interested in this? And he has the money.
All right, we'll get back to some of your reaction on Draymond Green versus Dylan Brooks. If you had to choose one of those guys to add to this roster next year, which one would you add? And also your thoughts on Sacramento. Reportedly, Elliot Friedman, one of the best insiders in the business at Sportsnet up at TSN, reporting that the NHL looking at Sacramento as a possible market at some point here in the future. So your thoughts on that? I'd absolutely love it. We'll get to all that and more coming up.
Cattles and Rock.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
It feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy
going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports.
Your official home for 49ers football.
It's the wine event of the year. Don't miss the Lodi Wine Experience, May 19th and 20th. An iconic weekend of world-class wines, delicious food, and live music at Lodi Lake Park. Tickets at LodiWineExperience.com. Must be 21 and over.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long. Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day, and they're fun, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect. And now try Babbel free. Text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
Depression, anxiety, and trauma can happen to anyone. You aren't alone. 1 in 5 of us will have a mental health issue in our lifetime. And just like other illnesses, people who get support and treatment find healing and hope. Check in with someone you're worried about. And if you're feeling pain, ask for help. There's no shame in taking care of yourself or the people you care about. Be there for someone who's hurting, even if that someone is you. Learn more at StopStigmaSacramento.org.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, a bug, get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it
Over there.
are statistically
It's still alive.
unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and geraniol and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts report at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone. After 3 seasons, the Philadelphia 76ers have dismissed head coach Doc Rivers, the team announced earlier today. The Sixers were eliminated in the Eastern Conference semifinals for a 3rd straight season, losing 112-88 in Game 7 to the Boston Celtics on Sunday. Philadelphia joins the likes of Milwaukee, Phoenix, Toronto, and Detroit, all with head coach openings. Otherwise, in the association, it is draft lottery day. As far as the Sacramento Kings pole position, last season's success denotes a 24th pick in this year's draft. At 5 p.m., just 30 minutes before Game 1 of the anticipated Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets, fans can tune into ESPN to see where the fateful lottery balls drop. For more coverage on this exciting night, Sactown Sports' very own digital talent, Joe Giroux, has a complete write-up over at SactownSports.com, or you can pull up your Sactown Sports app. And lastly, some Bay Area MLB notes. The San Francisco Giants toppled the Phillies last night 6-3, and across the Bay, A's unable to fall into that win column. Diamondbacks take that one 5-2, consequently dropping Oakland to 9-34.
Ever seen them launch a grand slam?
I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie with special guest host JJ.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
We have just a ton of reaction from all of you. Doing a great job. We'll get to the phones. We got YouTube popping. Text line is popping. Of course, a couple of things we've been talking about that have a lot of people reacting. Number one, if you had to choose, we're having some fun, okay? We're having some fun. If you had to choose between Draymond Green and Dylan Brooks, two of the guys who have been all over the news over the past couple of weeks and months during the postseason, polarizing players, which one of those two guys would you rather have on the Kings for next year if you had to choose one of them? We also talked about last segment the idea of an NHL team coming to Sacramento. Now, this is not just for fun. We didn't dream up this scenario. Elliot Friedman from Sportsnet, who's one of the best NHL insiders in the business, has recently said that Sacramento is growing interest as an NHL market one day. Again, we don't know if this would be a year, 2 years, 5 years, but the idea is that the NHL is looking at Sacramento as a possibility. They look at Sacramento, they see opportunity. And I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it would be great. Some of the reaction to that. Let's see. Fans says, I'd become a hockey fan. Well, there you go. YouTube, yes. Jack G, I'd be open to watching hockey if Sacramento had a team. Yeah, man, once you have something to root for, once you have a team to root for, I think you'll give it a chance. I mean, if you love sports, even if you strongly like sports, if a professional sports franchise comes into your city, I think the vast majority of sports fans will give that sport, that team, a shot.
Yeah.
And that's what you saw in Nashville. That's what you saw in Vegas. That's what you saw in a lot of these markets. Even a place like Florida. Yeah. At one time, people would have said Florida. Florida's in the Eastern Conference Finals now.
Tampa's always good.
Yeah. So, I mean, you look at these other cities, and it's worked. And so it makes some sense to me. Ryan in Sactown, YouTube chat, says you could put underwater basket weaving in Sacramento.
People going to go.
And the city would support it.
I'm with them.
Roger Massey, I've never watched a hockey game, but would if we got a team. I think you'd have a lot of Roger Masseys, I think. Primo J, only thing that sucks is hockey season lines up perfectly with basketball season. Oh, no, Primo J. Let me tell you. That's why it's great.
Yeah.
Like every night you have something happening. Every night you've got something to watch. Every night you're jazzed up to watch your local team in the fall and winter. It's absolutely fantastic. And here's one more angle I would say. If you want Midtown,
man,
to be rocking,
man.
So you got a good word.
Midtown would be rocking,
man,
if you had an NBA team and an NHL team. You want to talk about growing Midtown? You want to talk about growing job opportunities in Midtown? I mean, making money. That would be one of the biggest check marks for you. If you're Sacramento and you're looking at this, and you know the NHL is looking at you. Again, it's not like it's going to happen this second, but the report came out, and I think it's fascinating.
Man,
you know, if the NHL is looking at you, the first thing you're thinking is, man, Midtown's going to be great. You want to talk about great, Midtown's going to be great.
I'm telling you, Nate.
Every business is going to be pumping during the fall and winter.
The Sacramento Rattlesnakes, I'm with it, brother. Put it on and put me on.
Is that what you would do? Is that what you would do?
Text line said Sacramento Salmon.
Seattle has the best one, I think. I love the
What's
Seattle
Kraken is dope.
I love that.
You know, the other part, Nick, last time we both were in Vegas here a couple months ago, one of the Uber drivers, he picked us up, and I'm looking at it. He's draped down, and I'm looking in his car. This dude's got Las Vegas nights everywhere.
Yep.
It's like everywhere, from the dashboard to the tailpipe, right? And so I'm asking him about it. Like, oh, man, you must really like the nights. He's like, dude, born and raised in Las Vegas, absolutely love it. My team. What didn't come from nowhere else, like the Raiders.
Yep.
And, you know, this originated here. I'm all in. My family, my wife, I got my kids.
It's got
tickets.
roots.
Yes. So I asked him about the Raiders, and he's like, not there yet, man. He was like, you know, I said, have you been to a Raider game? He's like, no. I said, wait a minute. You have season tickets? He was like, dude, I work hard. That's why I Uber for season tickets.
Yeah.
For the Las Vegas Knights.
I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot
Sign
of
me
fun.
up.
Delivery Joe says, I got on YouTube just to tell you guys I'd 100 see Sacramento hockey. I'm all in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Manny, too legit. I'd go to a hockey game if we had a team just for the experience.
There it goes.
Your guy, Jay Young, jumps in. Went to a Ducks game in Anaheim against the Gretzky-coached Phoenix Coyotes like 13 years ago. Still remember the love we got.
Man.
That was my first NHL game, and now I follow the Ducks.
Wow.
After 13 years.
That's cold.
Going to that game.
See?
Also talking Draymond versus Dylan Brooks for fun. Which one would you take? Text line, Brooks all day. He's better than Green. Lakers fans hate him. He would be a great fit. Another text. We're seriously debating a Hall of Famer and former Defensive Player of the Year versus Dylan Brooks. Well, yeah, I mean,
he's 33.
He's 33. He's no longer Defensive Player of the Year. Text line, Brooks on the defense, Monk on offense would be fire. They got that edge the team needs. And another text, Draymond, because we need to vet. Also, he has the Brown connection and winning pedigree. Brooks has too much to prove. He needs to be a piece on a Laker-type top-heavy team. So Texter says, bring on Draymond, the vet presence, the Mike Brown connection, and he has that winning pedigree. All right, let's go to the people. Let's go to TC. TC wants to talk about Brooks and Draymond, our fun question. What's up, TC?
Oh, man, what's up, bro? Hey, what's up, Nick, JJ, Simone, how y'all doing?
Doing well.
Beautiful.
All right, man, just typing in a little bit. First and foremost, I'm not even into hockey. I got a few points, but I'm not even into hockey. But if we get a hockey team, I'm all over it. And that'd be great for the city. I don't know what else to say about that. I just know that'd be a great move. And I think everybody's all in on the Kings and even to the River Cats some way. And our soccer team, like, that'll just add fun to the city. For sure.
I agree. What else you got, TC?
Dylan Brooks. I'm taking Dylan Brooks over Draymond. But see, I was one of the ones that said I wouldn't mind Draymond, but y'all made sense. I didn't think about the whole Draymond and Domas. That wouldn't mesh. But like Dylan Brooks, like his whole edge, coached under Mike Brown, will be awesome. Just think about Dylan Brooks on the Beam team last year, under control.
All right, TC, we appreciate your phone call. Thanks for listening, as always, my friend. We appreciate you. Look, I think maybe you could do something for charity. Maybe you have a Domas versus Draymond Green pro wrestling match. Hopefully neither of them get hurt. Maybe you can work a charity event out. Arm wrestling event or something. But
lovable, squeezable, Nick.
That relationship would have to be repaired.
Yeah.
You'd have to figure out a way. Again, I do think Domas would be professional. Draymond, it's tough to say he'd be professional when after you see him punch Jordan Poole in the face. Like you would hope he would be, but
be tough. It'd be tough.
He says the right things at least.
You came and karate kicked me in my ribs. I might not want to play with you, Nick.
A little stomp action. Not happy about it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll continue. I mean, we got a lot. We got a lot to get to. Just over an hour left of the program. We're up, by the way, to 70 likes. We need 5 more likes. If we get 5 more likes, Simone will show up on the YouTube before the end of this show.
Yeah.
Wearing her Snuggie.
Ben Simmons style.
We're going to make that happen. Also, we got a fun, interesting edition of They Said What coming up for you.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports. Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight, a very mild evening. Early tomorrow morning, our temperatures will be in the upper 50s. Tomorrow will be sunny and warm with highs in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Plumbing, electrical, heating and air, everything that makes your home your home. With Bonnie, you sure got that covered. And right now, get your air conditioner tuned up for just $79. Originally $129. Bonnie.com.
Bonnie. Pain is not normal. Repeat, pain is not normal. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store. Does this sound familiar? It's the end of the workday and the pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back is unrelenting. Good Feet understands that you've likely already tried assorted remedies and solutions with no relief. And now you're pretty much resigned to living with the pain. But do not give in to the pain. Instead, come to the Good Feet store for their end-to-end 3-step arch support system. Good Feet is the nation's largest manufacturer and retailer of personalized arch supports. With arch supports in over 300 sizes, styles, and flexibilities, and an arch support specialist in each store. Come in today for a free, no obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk around the store or around the center. Experience the comfort, balance, and support possible with the Good Feet system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now in Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf.com's Alan Bastable offers 8 sneaky ways for stubbornly average players to break 80. First, play sensible tees. Hitting 7 and 8 irons into greens instead of hybrids give chances at 4s and 3s. Check the par. There's no shame in doing so on a par 70 course. 3, check the forecast. A day after rain can mean soft greens. 4, avoid big numbers. It's not the bogeys that will derail a 79. It's a couple of bigger scores. 5, you got to believe. Give yourself a pep talk and temper the feelings of gloom. 6, keep like-minded company. If you're a grinder, play with fellow grinders, or play with music, or gamble if that's your game. 7, a little luck helps. Even tour players recognize luck. 8, don't obsess over, breaking 80. You're going to know if you have a good round going, so have your partner keep score. At the 18th tee, ask where you stand, as it may affect the way you approach the hole. Sounds simple, huh? Now go out and do it. And have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
You never know what you're going to get with an open mic. It's the good, bad, ugly, and funny from this past week in sports.
They said what?
On Cattles and Ramie.
All right, congratulations to the YouTubers. 82 likes. 82 likes. Try to get to 100 now, but 82 likes beats the 75 like goal, which means our own Simone will be wearing her Snuggie.
Absolutely.
Here's what we're going to do. Simone will unveil her Snuggie at 5 o'clock. Okay? After her headline, Simone will reveal her Snuggie. We'll have Snuggie Simone in studio at 5 o'clock. And then Simone's going to hang out with us for the 5 o'clock segment to do the top story. And she'll remain in her Snuggie. So full segment in the Snuggie.
If we get to 100, she'll stay for the draft lottery.
God. I'm just trying to be on my Ben Simmons right now. Just snuggled up, feet up. We're good.
So you want to stay tuned for that. Snuggie Simone debuts in about 15 minutes or so. Also, we got to give away some Sebastian Maniscalco tickets. We'll do that in a little while on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. We got those Maniscalco tickets to give away. So we got a lot of stuff going on here. But let's roll with the They Said What for this week on this Tuesday. We have a lot of things to get to. Now, going back, had to be like a few weeks ago, Alex Verdugo of the Red Sox did a post-game interview on the field with Nesson, the New England Sports Network. And Verdugo could not stop dropping the F-bomb.
Yeah.
He dropped like 3 or 4 F-bombs, I think it was. So apparently this is a problem in the Red Sox clubhouse because Jarren Duran, who is also a Red Sox, he was on ESPN. And apparently Duran decided to let it fly on ESPN. Listen to this.
That's it. Get your bleeping hands up and right. Come on, like that's Dustin. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got the gist of it. You know, he told me to get my hands up and be ready to the ball hard, you know.
So, yeah, I'm going to confirm what you just said, and then I'm going to actually add the cursing to it, even though you obviously did not want to do that. Not once, but twice. So not one, but 2 F-bombs. It is something with the Red Sox team, Verdugo, Duran, whoever it is. They show up on ESPN or any television network live, watch out. They got a hot mic.
They need to be on the apps or they need to be recorded and then edited and played. Yeah, at this point, they're not to be trusted, Nick. You cannot trust a young fella that plays in the Boston Red Sox dugout. So that happened. Then I love this moment. Mother's Day on Sunday, okay? Mother's Day on Sunday. So this was kind of apropos. The game wasn't on Sunday, but it's, Mother's Day weekend. And Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat, after beating the Knicks and winning that series, he's up at the podium speaking to the media. And here's what happened for Bam.
I have a lot of respect for Jalen, and it's not just. Hold up. Hi, mommy. Yes. No. I'm in media. Nah, I wasn't in it. Nah, it's all good, Ma. All right. Sorry. What'd you say?
I was wondering how long the phone call was going to go.
Right.
What's his mom saying? Like, right. Oh, I'm sorry.
2 things there, Nick, and this is the truth. First of all, or 3 things. I could kind of hear mom a little bit. You could hear it just faintly.
Yeah.
The second thing is when mom calls, doesn't matter what you're doing. You take that call.
You shut it all down.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how long mom was going to hang on the other end.
And then the third part of it, and I know you get this, we're married and moms and, been blessed to have women. Sometimes they get a little long-winded.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Now, if Kelly was listening to this show, she would be like, how dare you? How dare you? Because I am known as the long-winded one in the relationship. Talk show host thing, I guess. There's been multiple times where Kelly and I are talking about something, and I realize that she's just staring at me like, when is this over? And I just keep going. I power through.
That a boy.
But that was a fantastic.
Bam said, "I'm in media," and his mom was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, I'm in media.
Doesn't
What?
mean nothing to me.
Mommy.
Yeah.
I don't care about your media. You're talking to mom right now.
That's right.
You tell those reporters to wait.
Why didn't you lock the front door at the house when I told you I was coming in at a certain time? You didn't give me anything. You know something was coming. Mom's had a question. You could tell.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Right in the middle of it.
Straight up.
And Bam knew he had to pick it up. He's like, this is mom. I got to pick it up.
Yeah.
There's no option.
No.
There's a reporter in the background who was like, "This is a first for me."
Yeah, he can't tell mom, "Sorry, mom, I didn't pick up the phone. I was in media."
Yeah.
There's no excuse for that. You got to pick it up.
Yeah.
Cousin P said he should have put her on speakerphone. That would have been
That would have
fantastic.
been cold. But he probably knew, man, moms ain't to be dealt with like that. I better tell my mom, look, you should say hi to the media, because if you put her on speakerphone or don't pre-warn her, oh, wait, you're going to get another call.
I was going to say, and also maybe mom's a little salty like Jaron Duran. Maybe the language would be a little bit too much. And say, oh, mom, chill out.
Part of the Red Sox clubhouse.
Calm down, mom. I feel like it's almost at least like once a month that we have a TNT inside the NBA, back and forth. Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kenny Smith, EJ. They're always getting into something. And here was Shaq and the TNT crew late last week.
Because Miami, they may win another game, but if they go back to Miami, bring one set of clothes, because it's going to be done.
They only playing one game.
Huh?
They'd only play one game. They don't play.
If you shut your fat face and listen, I said, if they win, I'm talking about the Knicks. If the Knicks win,
I know.
And they get back,
they only play one game.
They
only need to bring one.
Yeah, 1 second, only one going black.
They go back to New York.
No, but then they go home. So I'm saying, listen, I'm saying.
No, you don't just say. You
This is why I hate talking to you. Andy. Bring 1 second because your ass staying there. So bring a short second.
Why would you stay there?
Because your season over. What you gonna go back?
You got to go back home.
No, you're not gonna go back home and get Let me finish.
Okay. Let's go ahead and finish. We want to hear it.
Bring 1 set and stay your ass in Miami because your season over.
Okay, nice try.
Stay at the beach. Sit next to the beach in Kenny.
See, now you got to throw me in. Enjoy your long night.
No, because you over there laughing.
I got laughing. He was right this time. I can't laugh when he right. Wait, if he's right, I'm going to laugh.
I don't mind y'all laughing, but when y'all make Ernie laugh, listen, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna just start swinging with them.
You gonna run around and chase. Hey, if you guys go back to Miami, pack 3 suits.
Shaq was so wrong. Yeah. And he was so into it deep. He just kept burying himself.
As he should.
He's like, bring 1 suit. And they're like, well, yeah, you only have to bring 1 suit. You have 1 game in Miami. But there's no need for any more. And he's like, yeah, because they're only going to play 1 in Miami. It's like, yes, exactly. Oh, my God. Fantastic. Nikola Jokic, he is a man of many talents on the basketball floor. He also has a very good sense of humor. Seems to be a pretty entertaining cat.
Yeah.
Here was Jokic after the Nuggets had beat the Suns, finished up their second-round matchup, about his plans as he waited for the Western Conference Finals.
What are you going to do during this layoff as you await your opponent?
Probably watch my friend race horses in Italy, be around my family. Hopefully it's going to be a sunny so I can be outside the swimming pool. So
yeah,
relaxing.
Yeah, swimming pool, watch a little bit of horse racing, you know.
This dude owns like professional horses. It's crazy.
Enjoy the sun. Well, I mean, when you make as much money as he does, I guess you find ways to spend it.
But another NBA player wouldn't be like owning professional horses in Europe.
People own horses all the time.
Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network owns a horse.
Yeah, it's quite a.
It ran in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. Mellows has some money on some horses. There's a bunch of guys who will get in on that.
Does James Harden, or does he save all that coin for strip clubs?
Lemon peppers, man. You know how James Harden get down.
He's
brother.
He invests in other kinds of stallions, please.
See, I don't want to laugh because the ego is, I feel like if she says a good line, there's the pressure of me like reacting to it. And then she's like, yes, that got over. Now I can't wait to drop the next one.
Man, you got to still be natural, Nick. You got to be yourself, man.
It was a good line, Simone.
Thank you.
Tip of the cap to you, my lady.
Appreciate you.
Good work back there.
There you go.
All right, let's finish this up. Some of the reaction here. So Silent in the YouTube chat, Sacramento opossums?
What?
Sacramento
Possums?
Oh, I hate that.
That's terrible.
Keep it.
He did put haha, Jake. Just
Okay.
kidding.
Someone put out Sacramento Raccoons, which
That's terrible.
I like, but other people wouldn't.
Silent also said if Sacramento got an NHL team, would we light the beam for them? No, I feel like you got to keep that.
You got to do something different.
Come up with something different.
Yeah.
At least a different color. I don't know.
Brian Cruz, the Sacramento Trees.
We stealing Stanford's mascot?
I was gonna say
I need a little something like. Well, first of all, Stanford's not the Trees. That's like it's not the official.
It's their mascot.
Yeah, they're the
tree.
Cardinal.
We need something a little mean though. Like a possum ain't scaring nobody.
Yeah, no.
A
Raccoon
tree,
ain't scaring.
yeah. I mean, what you putting off oxygen? No, we need something a little more scary.
I think it's a mouthful, but I did see this on the text line. I like the sturgeons. That's very California.
Well, that's a name that we've already used.
Oh,
The Sacramento Sturgeons.
That's on me. I'm gonna pipe down.
Not at all. Not at all.
Patrick Donaldson said the Sacramento Beams.
That's lazy. Lazy.
Hockey team would be great, he says. All right, we got an update on Ja Morant. We also have to unveil Snuggie Simone as she joins us for the top story. You don't want to miss that. All of it coming up next.
The King season might be over, but Sactown sports coverage never stops.
I feel like we grew a lot during this playoff series with our defense, and if we can sustain that during the year, that's going to help us a lot.
Stay tuned all off season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Get top deals on everything you need to freshen up your yard, like the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, only at Lowe's. Was $199, now just $149. Plus, get your lawn in shape with up to $15 off select Scott's Easy Seed Lawn Repair Mixes. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Scott's offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Wash experience that can only be found at Quick Quack. Their new ceramic duck car wash provides unparalleled protection from dirt, grime, rain, and UV rays while giving your car a noticeably deeper shine and smoother finish. With consistent use, you'll build a shine that will have you looking spectacular for days. Try the premium wash at 50% off by texting DUCK to 41284. So come on, experience ceramic duck today. You and your car will be glad you did.
Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Let Shane and his team at bridgehavenhomes.com take that stress away. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, and no realtor commissions. Call 916-299-6040 or bridgehavenhomes.com.
During a Flex Alert, let's do the dishes after 9.
What about the laundry?
It can wait until tonight, or even the morning.
The AC?
It's at 78. Let's cool the house in the morning.
All right, so we're just chilling until 9.
Pretty much. And we can help avoid a power outage.
Putting off chores for later and hanging out with my best friend? I love Flex.
Maybe you should just unplug the appliances downstairs.
Good idea. Better acoustics in the basement.
California, the power is ours with Flex Alerts. Flex Alerts, the power is ours.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, a bug, get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it
Over there.
are statistically
It's still alive.
unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices.
Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
With a really nice selection of excellent cars and trucks on the lot every day, M&S Auto on El Camino Avenue, right off the Cap City Freeway, welcomes you. Repeat M&S customers come back because they get great vehicles and they save thousands. 4x4s, SUVs, American muscle cars, top-selling vehicles, fair deals for way less than a brand new car. First-time buyers are welcome. msautogroup.com.
When you're ready to get properly fitted for golf clubs, join the thousands of Northern California golfers who visited the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio. Players of all abilities found the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers answers to questions about golf club fitting. You'll find a professional staff of fitters, major equipment brands, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan. See for yourself at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Call 916-808-2531 to schedule your fitting. 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone. After 3 seasons, the Philadelphia 76ers have dismissed head coach Doc Rivers, the team announced earlier today. The Sixers were eliminated in the Eastern Conference semifinals for a 3rd straight season, losing 112-88 in Game 7 to the Boston Celtics on Sunday. Philadelphia joins the likes of Milwaukee, Phoenix, Toronto, and Detroit, all with head coach openings. Otherwise, in the association, it is draft lottery day. As far as the Sacramento Kings pole position, last season's success denotes a 24th pick in this year's draft. At 5 p.m., just 30 minutes before Game 1 of the anticipated Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets, fans can tune into ESPN to see where the fateful lottery balls drop. For more coverage on this exciting night, Sactown Sports' very own digital talent, Joe Giroux, has a complete write-up over at SactownSports.com, or you can pull up your Sactown Sports app. And lastly, some Bay Area MLB notes. The San Francisco Giants toppled the Phillies last night 6-3, and across the Bay, A's unable to fall into that win column. Diamondbacks take that one 5-2, consequently dropping Oakland to 9-34.
Ever seen them launch a grand slam?
I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie.
Did you miss the headline and the top story of the day?
Extra, read all about it.
Don't worry, because we got you covered.
This is how we do.
It's the Cattles and Ramie
Top Spot.
All right, so we'll get to Snuggie Simone, who will be unveiled in a moment. She's preparing herself. She's getting prepared. She has to make sure everything looks good, fits good, feels good. Simone did mention, what'd she say? Digital talent Joe Giroux? Digital talent Joe Giroux too busy to even retweet my poll I put out there on Twitter.
So there's a story behind that, and the Simone might be mad that I bring this up, but the first segment, she said Frankie Cardicelli, and then Joe texted her like, Frankie didn't write this. I wrote this.
So Joe was offended. Well, I'm offended he did not retweet my poll at the Sactown Sports Twitter handle. Falling asleep, Joe? Let's go, digital talent. By the way, my poll was Kings fans. If you had to choose one this offseason to add to the roster, which would you choose, Draymond or Dylan Brooks? So far, JJ and for Ramie today, Ramie cheat on us.
Yeah, he did.
He cheated on us with the midday show.
Yeah, he did.
Draymond Green, so far, easily ahead of Dylan Brooks, 63% to 37%.
Man, has Dylan Brooks became the public enemy number one in the NBA?
Well, in the YouTube chat, that's not the case. YouTube chat, 66% Dylan Brooks, 34% Draymond Green.
Wow.
And again, that was just for fun. If you don't like it, then you must be a hit at parties. Before we get to Simone and get into our top stories today, I did want to pass this along on Ja Morant. So Adam Silver was on ESPN as they get ready for the NBA draft lottery, which, by the way, we will let you know when it happens, what happens. Victor Wembanyama, of course, is going to go number one. It's who is going to win the Wemby sweepstakes tonight. But meanwhile, Ja Morant was asked, Adam Silver was asked about Ja Morant. Adam Silver said, quote, honestly, I was shocked at what I saw this weekend. I don't know if you could say you're shocked at seeing this since we've seen it before. I don't know. Disappointed to see it. Concerned to see it. Shocked? I mean, guy was brandishing a gun on social media at a strip club. I don't know how you could be shocked.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate situation that Ja's put himself in. So there's what Adam Silver had to say. And again, I'll just echo what I said yesterday. I think the NBA is going to drop the hammer on Ja Morant.
I think so too.
I'll be surprised if he gets less than 30 games. I think he's going to get at least 30.
I said 41.
Yeah, I'm good with.
I think 41.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't criticize the NBA if they gave him 50. Honestly. All right. So here's the time. We have to bring Simone in with her Snuggie. We got 75 likes. We're up to 90 likes. We're up to 90 likes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Simone with her Snuggie. Snuggie Simone is in the house.
Why do you have, what is that, a pocket on the front? What is that, Simone? Really?
Oh, that's what Kanye's girl needed, right? All right, so Kyle didn't even fix the mic for you because he couldn't care less about you.
That's a cold game.
He talks nicely about you, but then we see what happens in his actions.
What did I do now?
Simone, are you, first of all, what size is that thing?
Too large.
That's about a triple X, or what is that?
One size fits all kind of deal here.
Really?
That would fit Alex Len.
Yeah. I mean, my God.
That's true.
Anything for the people.
That's Domas' Snuggie.
Oh, and the chair's collapsing underneath me.
Oh, please fall. It'd be hilarious.
Okay, real quick, you guys.
As long as you don't get hurt, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Does the thing button up in the back, Velcro in the back? Is just. Got you. It's like it's the doctor apron.
Snuggie in the front, party in the back. Curb Dog Sports says Simone looks like Grogu right now.
Yes, thank you.
You do look like something on Star Wars.
It's starting to get upsetting how many little trinkets and things I have at my desk that we're able to pull for the show. So I'm excited to see what the next endeavor will be.
TCG says, "Ayo!"
Did you? Who purchased that for you?
Yourself?
Or
it was a gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick, would you ever walk into a store and/or Amazon and/or any online, play medium platform that you could purchase a Snuggie and buy one?
Would I buy a Snuggie?
Yeah.
Sure, I'd buy a Snuggie. Not for me, but I would buy a Snuggie.
Well, that's okay. I like the way you went there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ooh, Peg Junk says Snug Moan.
Snug I like that.
Snug Moan.
I like it. I like it. We'll keep it.
So there we go. Simone, Snuggie Simone, Snug Moan. Enrique says she is beautiful.
Thank you, Enrique.
Now I'm going to stop reading compliments because.
Yeah.
And by the way,
I was going to say something.
Let's just keep it in balance, people.
Yeah.
You're saying Snuggie Wong Sonomi is not a good comment?
All right, leave now, Kyle.
That was Delivery Joe in the comments.
At least it took you 3 hours and 8 minutes to irritate me today. That's a record.
Doing great, kid.
Go Blood.
We'll try better next time.
All right, so top story.
Go Blood. Baby.
Cattles and Ramie. Ramie out. He cheated on us with the midday show today.
Hate to hear it.
Listen, I heard that he was a big fan of Chris Watkins behind the scenes. So Charles might be stealing him. JJ in for Ramie. Simone in studio with us. All right, so let's start with this. Lottery tonight. Victor Wembanyama, obviously the sweepstakes. Best case scenario for the Kings, you tell me if you agree. Wembanyama ends up in the Eastern Conference, no?
Yes.
Keep him East. Keep him East.
You want him to go to the Pistons?
Yeah, put him somewhere where no one really cares.
The East or the Rockets?
Right, no.
Yeah, the Rockets will screw it up.
Now, Rockets got Ime.
Got some young fellas.
You got Ime. You got
Rory, Kevin Porter Jr.
Playmakers.
You know what? What if Wembanyama ends up going to the Rockets and then James Harden goes to Houston? Poor Wembanyama.
Oh.
He has to deal with that for the first few years of his career.
I'm telling you, Houston is gonna mess it up. Please don't let Wemby go to Houston.
I'm gonna go to Charlotte with Jordan Company, even though Jordan's selling.
I mean, at least they got LaMelo.
Jordan doesn't deserve Wembanyama.
True. But I like LaMelo, man.
And by the way, Scoot Henderson's like, yo, I'm pretty good too.
And Brandon Miller.
Nobody's talking about me. I'm pretty good here. I'm not that bad. Not bad at all. So we'll tell you what happens there. We have not gotten Simone's thoughts on Lakers Nuggets. Oof. JJ and I both have the Nuggets in 6. Snug Moan, what is your what is your prediction for the Western Conference Finals that starts in under an hour?
You know, I'm going to be referencing you and everything you've taught me. I know that they pulled up so many pieces after that trade deadline. Kind of feeling like the Lakers might get it done.
Everybody that was loving Simone and the Snuggie is now very upset with Snug Moan.
I always have the crazy takes here, though.
Oh, I like this, though. Snug Moan is like the heel personality of Simone.
Oh, the apple.
So Simone is like the nice, Kings, hate the Lakers, but when she puts on the snug and she becomes Snug Moan.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm not feeling good about my choices, but I do think it's going to go the Lakers' way. I've just seen them, accomplish too much so far.
I did take great joy listening to you let me know that the Celtics had moved on to the Eastern Conference Finals. After you were killing me for the last couple of weeks.
I had a very strategic way of lining that up for you, for sure. I'm grateful you appreciate it.
All right, so that's the top story. We'll keep Simone in here. We're gonna do. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna watch the lottery.
It really depends on what ESPN does.
Well, they're 5 minutes away.
Yeah, we're not gonna listen. We're not gonna give you play by play and break everything down. But we are going to let you know as soon as the number 1 pick lands. We'll give you the top 3 to let you know who's getting what. We'll have thoughts on that. And also, we got much more to talk about. Devontae Adams said something. Was it out of pocket or not? We'll talk about that. We got the call back. We continue with this lovely program. We also have Sebastian Maniscalco tickets we'll give away in a few minutes. But we're back at it in 90 seconds.
Cattles
and Ramie.
Sactown Sports. Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track, makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Hey, it's Nick Cattles from Cattles and Ramie, and I'm reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Start your grilling season right with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill, it's turning me into a pro. Napoleon grills, they have features that other grills just can't match. They're built different, built better, and they're built to last. I'm telling you, I might never want to cook indoors again. Just go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills, now is the best time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories.
Growing a business brings pressure. Staying compliant and retaining top talent in challenging times. You feel stretched thin. Fortunately, there's Insperity. They put over 35 years of HR service and technology to work, offering my employees competitive benefit options while lightening my HR load. Engaged people empowered to be their best means overcoming obstacles. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Cattles and Ramie.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
So as I said just a moment ago in the YouTube chat, Simone's going to hang out with us this last hour, and we'll see if her head fits into her SUV as she gets ready to leave for the day. We'll see if that gigantic ego squeezes into her vehicle.
Yes. Speaking of my vehicle, can I give my flowers to Jay?
Why?
He helped me get a tire yesterday.
Did he?
I had a
JJ knows people.
I told her, man. I'm the commissioner of Sacramento, man.
Exactly. Doko, mayor
Straight
of
lovable, squeezable Nick.
Yeah.
Mayor of Doko.
He's the diplomat of Sacramento.
And the diplomat of Sacramento.
It's not a thing I can't get you, brother.
We were just talking about it. I don't think Simone was out. Were you out there with us last year?
Yes.
You were.
Yeah, I wasn't like a part of the show.
No,
yet.
but you were at the promo team and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So last year at this time, when we began the show talking about how great it is as we get ready for the draft lottery reveal, and ESPN are all fired up, got the countdown clock in the corner, 1 minute and 44 seconds.
Let's go.
But we were talking about this at the start of the show, JJ and I, and JJ and for Ramie. Ramie cheated on us with Chris Watkins in the midday.
Buster.
It's great to not be worried about the lottery right now. It's fantastic. And I'll tell you, we'll roll through the teams. I got to pull up the old NBA tankathon and let you know who's most likely to get who, blah, 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 blah. But we're not worried about it this year. 48 wins, third in the Western Conference. We have now taken that next step here in Sacramento. No longer worried about the 14.0% chance that you have of landing in the top three. We're not worried about that anymore. We're worried about adding to this team. We're more worried about getting this team to the next level. So they're going through all their stuff here at ESPN. They always drag stuff out, but they're 52 seconds until the reveal. And, of course, they'll go through the lottery first, and then they'll take the break.
Yep.
And then they will truly reveal the top four. That's what they did last year. Let's remind people, Kyle, if we can pull that up from last year. I want to remind people what we were doing. So JJ, myself, and Ramie, we were at Doko. Simone was there with the promotions team.
Yep.
It was roughly 175 degrees outside.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
And I'll tell you, the energy was fantastic. Everybody was wondering where the Kings would land. Of course, we know where they landed, and here's how it sounded a year ago.
We have our four: Sacramento, Oklahoma City, the Magic, and the Rockets.
The fourth pick in the 2022 NBA draft presented by State Farm goes to the Sacramento Kings.
Yes, and that became Keegan Murray, of course. Man. And look, it's rather obvious to all of us that Monty did not completely swing and miss on the pick.
Brandon Roy, I mean to cut you off, but shouts out to Brandon Roy, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah.
My bad, man. Brandon Roy brought excitement out of him. That dude was a baller, man.
I could tell you. He was until the injuries.
That knee, man.
And Tyrese Halliburton is there for the Pacers.
Look at your guy. That's your guy right there.
Ime Udoka is there for the Rockets. Ben Wallace looking sophisticated with the great line.
Yes.
Great line on the beard.
Nick Collison was there for the Thunder.
So you've got all of your random people on the stage as we get ready. Then you've got the two people that nobody knows. Yep. The guy from Ernest & Young who looks like he's going to poop. He's walking over with the numbers. He does. He looks like he's constipated. He wasn't quite ready.
Oh, my God,
He
that's
wasn't ready for his
mean.
TV moment. That's fine. He just wasn't.
Everyone gets
He was very kind of stiff and like,
he's walking stiff, Nick. Check him out. Yeah.
He might have to go. I mean, he might legitimately have to go to the bathroom. Hey, everybody got to poop every once in a while.
GP
right?
too, man.
Now
GP
here
too.
comes the deputy commissioner, Mark
Everybody
Tatum.
poops. Am I right, Simone?
Everyone.
Okay, everybody does. And if you're not, then you got problems. Go get a check.
Very true.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Here comes the quick lottery. Let's see if anybody jumps. 14 should be New Orleans.
These old bottom feeders, Nick. These are bottom feeders.
Everybody's just waiting for Wemby. So all right. So New Orleans gets the 14th pick. David Griffin acts like it's a shock.
Right,
like he's upset about it. Like,
Should be Toronto.
he had a
next.
0.5% chance of jumping to 1. So Toronto jumps nowhere. They stay at 13. Lucky number 13. I don't know who that is for Toronto.
This should be Thunder.
Random.
Slow
random
down
person.
over there.
Kyle, I'll handle
Kyle,
this.
right.
Thank you. Appreciate it. OKC lands the 12th pick. Collison is dapper, but not happy. So Oklahoma City gets 12. Orlando gets Chicago's pick, and they stick at 11. So no surprises yet. Dallas is up next. This is a team that you want to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
You don't want Dallas to jump if you're the Kings.
No.
No, thank you. You got Luka, you got maybe Kyrie. So
Thank
Dallas does not jump. They stay right at 10.
Sounds good.
I don't know who that is for Dallas.
It's the GM, Nico Harrison.
Oh, okay. Nico Harrison looking dapper as well. 3% chance Dallas had a chance to jump to 1. Didn't happen. 9 is Utah. So right now we're staying the course. 9 is Utah. So no bad news, I would say. No bad news as of yet for the Kings. Everybody's sticking where they're at. Washington is supposed to be 8 here. We'll see if anybody moves. Washington is 8. So again, no surprise. So now
Ansel Jr.
We're looking at Indiana. Did Tyrese Halliburton bring luck to the Pacers? Did Tyrese Halliburton? Did Hallie bring the luck? No, he did not. Indiana stays at 7. So the top 6, you're back to Orlando now because Orlando, again, remember, had Chicago's pick. Orlando trying to jump up, 9% chance to get to 1. It is Orlando at 6. So the top 5 are the top 5. No movement below that. Portland, Charlotte, San Antonio, Houston, Detroit, the 5 teams that remain. Team 5 is Detroit. Oh my God.
That sucks.
Detroit favored, one of the 3 teams with a 14% chance to get the number 1 pick.
Look at Portland.
Detroit goes to 5.
Wow.
Don't let
Wembanyama up there with Dame Dollar.
Yikes.
Stop it.
Okay, please don't let it be Charlotte or Houston.
My goodness. Goodness. So right now,
update me, Nick. Give me some update here. Where's
So,
Portland sitting here, brother?
Detroit's down to 5. They took Portland's spot at 5.
Wow.
So Portland's going to jump. Portland had a 10.5% chance of jumping to 1. Still left in the sweepstakes. You got Charlotte, you got San Antonio, you got Houston, you got Portland.
Wow.
So you've got 2 and 2. You got 2 teams from the West, 2 teams from the East. Detroit must be heartbroken.
I'd be sick.
Because not only did Detroit, fall out of the 1 spot, which they were hoping to have, obviously.
They didn't even get Scoot.
They're not even
Brandon
the top
Miller.
3. They lose out on Scoot. They lose out on Brandon Miller, as you said. So in this draft, it's seen pretty much as like a 3-player draft for the most part.
Yeah.
So to drop from 1 to 5, yikes.
I mean, you're taking one of the Thompson twins, right? Probably.
Or you're trading that pick.
Yeah.
Or you're trading the pick.
Oof.
If you're Detroit, you got Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. You got a good young core. Maybe you try to trade that 5 pick for somebody who could become available, a vet. But I don't know if there's any vets. And by the way, I mean, look, I hate to say this, but it's just the honest truth. Sometimes the truth hurts, JJ, right? Simone, sometimes the truth hurts. Detroit's not really a city that people are like in love with going to.
Okay? Up there.
Yeah.
So they're in a tough spot.
They are. Little Caesar's not bringing the pizza's not bringing them there, right?
I mean,
you're saying
their dream was like, the pizza's not getting delivered. The idea, the plan was like, okay, you got Cade, you got Jaden, you got Durant, right?
Yeah.
And then you have
got Stewart up there.
You have Wembanyama, and Wembanyama would slide to probably the 4. And but now Detroit, man,
and they took a flyer on Wiseman. Wiseman played decently for him late in the season, even though they weren't playing for anything. But they would have a young core.
That is a shocker. Now for Dallas got good news, by the way, because Dallas, they had a top 10 protected pick. So staying at 10, they keep the pick. And that was the reason. If you remember, that was the reason why at the end of the year, they decided to tap out the final 2 games when they had a chance to get to the play-in because they wanted to give themselves the best chance to keep that pick. So they keep that pick. They have 2 more seasons, by the way, of top 10 protection on that pick. They owed that pick to New York. So you would
Jalen
imagine.
Brunson, right? Or excuse me, that's the Nets, right? Or, is that Porzingis?
Yes, it's so Porzingis was their 2021 and 2023 firsts.
So again, if neither of those picks convey, right? So you got the Knicks hoping for that top 10, hoping for an 11 to 30 pick, right? Because it's top 10 protected. If the Knicks don't get a pick the next 2 years between 11 and 30, then that pick in 2025 becomes a second. So the Knicks did not get great news tonight. So the Knicks did not get great news. The Dallas Mavericks got good news. Detroit so far got the worst news.
Man, Ben Wallace, that you talked about his lineup, didn't look too good at the end of that, man. Looked like he was scratching his beard for a minute.
He was not happy.
Nah, he wasn't.
He was, some would say, possibly steaming.
Yes.
Possibly steaming. By the way, do we all agree that the LeBron draft lottery was rigged?
Yes.
He ended up in Cleveland,
Of course.
right next to his hometown of Akron.
By design.
A little,
Love to believe it's true.
a little too coincidental for some people.
There's a few of them.
Do you
right,
believe
so
in magic?
Like Derrick Rose.
in the big red. I hope you do. Blah 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 with big red shoes. All right, so we got 4 people. We got 4 teams left. Again, reset. Portland moves up from 5. Detroit, heartbreaker. They dropped from 1, and now they're sitting at 5. So you've got Portland, Charlotte, San Antonio, and Houston as the 4 teams that are vying for Victor Wembanyama. The booby prize is, of course, Scoot Henderson, and then you would have Brandon Miller. So whoever gets 4 ain't gonna be happy. If you end up at 4 or 5 , you're not thrilled.
Is that a phone or is that a portable?
Is
that
a disposable camera?
Is it disposable?
A toy in his hand.
Victor Wembanyama don't have that NBA money yet. He's using a disposable camera to take selfies.
Oh, it's fun. It's vintage.
All right, so Houston, San Antonio have the best chance to get Wemby. They're sitting at 14%. Charlotte had a 12.5% shot before tonight began. And Portland had a 10.5% shot. So Portland's moving up. We'll see where Portland ends up.
I'm pulling for Charlotte.
This, of course, was the spot where the Kings landed last year at number 4. The 4th pick is the Rockets.
Yes.
Wow.
Get them out of here. Bye. That means you don't get none of the big 3.
Portland.
Yeah, screw them.
Portland is moving up.
Don't give it a
So
Spurs.
Houston and Detroit. Portland ends up with the 3rd pick.
They're going to give these cats to the Spurs.
So
give it to the Spurs.
It's either going to be the Spurs or the Hornets.
Come on, Charlotte.
And the Hornets end up with the 2nd pick.
Man, it's
the
rigged.
San Antonio Spurs.
3rd time.
Land.
It's rigged, Nick.
Victor Wembanyama.
Nick is rigged.
They just want Pop to get his hands
It's
on it.
rigged, man.
Yes.
So Victor Wembanyama will be a San Antonio Spur. Book it. And Pop, as RH said in the chat, Pop wins again.
Yep.
So Victor Wembanyama will absolutely be, and it's really interesting because, of course, Popovich also has the history with international players, Ginobili, Tony Parker.
Yes.
Perfect coach for Wembanyama.
There's tons of guys.
Perfect coach, perfect situation for Wembanyama. San Antonio is going to be patient. It's not a crazy out for blood market.
Nope.
Yeah.
You've got Popovich as your coach, who again not only is known as one of the best coaches that's ever done it, but he also has the history and the experience of dealing with a young European player with some expectations. But yeah, I mean, you got David Robinson, you got Tim Duncan, and now you end up with Wembanyama. Wow. So that'll be the 1st pick. Wembanyama will be a Spur. Charlotte also. MJ has to be happy.
That's Brandon Miller, right?
No, I think that'll be
with LaMelo?
With LaMelo, interesting question.
Yeah,
it's going to be Miller.
Brandon, man.
It's going to be probably Miller.
Yeah.
So
Trailblazers, do you take Scoot with Dame?
I think you got to take Scoot.
Now, come on, Dame.
I mean, Dame's 30.
Put him on the trade. I need right now, Nick. I'm going to the trade. The trade tracker. Trade machine. Here we go.
ESPN, by the way, if you were wondering, ESPN flew out Brian Windhorst to France.
Look at that, brother.
Windy is interviewing Victor Wembanyama right now. But man, oh man. So Detroit and Houston. Woof.
I'll be upset, brother.
Woof.
Detroit. Forget Houston.
Depending on what happened, maybe that's karma for Houston for hiring Ime Udoka.
That's true.
Maybe.
Or for Tita saying pray for Wemby at Mardi Gras.
Man, oh man. So Detroit falls from 1 to 5, and Houston falls from 2 to 4.
Heartbreak.
You know, it's I know we have to break, but I said earlier to you, I think it was off air. What if San Antonio got Wemby? It's rigged, man.
You did say that.
It's rigged.
Prior to a couple years ago, the Spurs had only been in 5 lotteries ever, and they got now 3 number 1 picks.
Rigged, man. Why not send that young fellow to Charlotte?
All right, we'll have more reaction. We'll have more reaction to the NBA draft lottery. Some quick thoughts on what was the final results, how it might impact the Kings, how it could impact the Western Conference, the Eastern Conference. Got the callback. I got to give away Sebastian Maniscalco tickets. Man, we got a lot to do in the final 30 or so. Cattles and Ramie. Ramie out. He cheated on us on the midday show with Chris Watkins. Instead, we got JJ. We got Simone, both in studio. We'll continue to roll along here coming up next.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight, a very mild evening. Early tomorrow morning, our temperatures will be in the upper 50s. Tomorrow will be sunny and warm with highs in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Right now at the Roseville Auto Mall, we've got the best Memorial Day savings and selection we've had in years. Head out to Eureka Road off I-80 and kick off summer with a new car, truck, or SUV during the giant Memorial Day sale at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I want to talk to you about my friends at American Energy. We can all agree on one thing. Your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. Now, all you have to do, go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote today. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide those great pricing options they have, the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home without having somebody coming to your house. Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your specific needs are, call 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone. After 3 seasons, the Philadelphia 76ers have dismissed head coach Doc Rivers, the team announced earlier today. The Sixers were eliminated in the Eastern Conference semifinals for a 3rd straight season, losing 112-88 in Game 7 to the Boston Celtics on Sunday. Philadelphia joins the likes of Milwaukee, Phoenix, Toronto, and Detroit, all with head coach openings. Otherwise, in the association, it is draft lottery day. As far as the Sacramento Kings pole position, last season's success denotes a 24th pick in this year's draft. At 5 p.m., just 30 minutes before Game 1 of the anticipated Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets, fans can tune into ESPN to see where the fateful lottery balls drop. For more coverage on this exciting night, Sactown Sports' very own digital talent, Joe Giroux, has a complete write-up over at SactownSports.com, or you can pull up your Sactown Sports app. And lastly, some Bay Area MLB notes. The San Francisco Giants toppled the Phillies last night 6-3, and across the Bay, A's unable to fall into that win column. Diamondbacks take that one 5-2, consequently dropping Oakland to 9-34.
Ever seen them launch a grand slam?
I'm Simone. Let's hear Sactown Sports headlines. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie.
I'm going to light up these phone lines.
The phone is ringing, and we are checking to see who's on the line.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
News, gossip, a story.
Okay, who's the next victim?
It's the callback
on Cattles and Ramie.
Yep, mic check. First time today. All right, so
mic check.
We're gonna use the callback. We're gonna call back the NBA draft lottery that just happened.
Let's rock.
We're gonna take a look at some of these results and some of the most interesting scenarios that now play out with what happened earlier today. So let's start here, JJ. The San Antonio Spurs won the draft lottery tonight.
Lucky.
Now, they were one of 3 teams that had a 14% chance of landing the first pick. They get it. Chris Mannix reports that the lottery numbers of the Spurs came up 3 times in the lottery room.
So did it, huh?
3 times.
Interesting.
And for the Hornets came up twice. So Victor Wembanyama is a San Antonio Spur. And obviously, look, this does affect the Kings. Everything in this draft lottery affects the Kings in some way. So now, we said it earlier. You didn't want Wembanyama in the Western Conference.
Not I.
Now he's going to be in the Western Conference for who knows how long. Great situation for him with Popovich being the coach. San Antonio's history of European players having success there in that program makes all the sense in the world. Pop can help nurture and develop Wembanyama. I think it's an absolutely perfect spot for Wemby.
Yep.
And, again, it's we talked about it earlier, by the way, JJ and for Ramie. Simone with us, 2 in studio here for the final hour. Snug Moan in the house with her Snuggie on.
Hey.
So, but we talked about it a little bit earlier. Like, San Antonio's passionate about their basketball team, but they're not white hot, angry, right? Like, he's not going to go to a city where there's going to be immediate pressure to just be incredible. There'll be pressure from the outside, but I think Popovich will be able to, almost insulate Wemby from the noise because he's done it before.
Yeah.
He's been there before. So great spot for him.
And you said this too, Nick, and this is something about it is San Antonio, the media, no piranha, but if there was a problem, Pop has so much respect that no one's going to approach it. No one's going to really try to cut Wemby at the knees if Pop comes out and says, leave him alone. I'm going to leave this guy alone, and no one will touch him.
Nah, he's like the Godfather in San Antonio.
Yeah.
No one's going to get in the way of that. So great spot for Wemby. I would also say when you look at the Spurs, watch out. I know the Spurs have been awful the last few years, but, I mean, look, they just landed Wemby, and they have, I was just looking this up, practical cap space, which I believe means they can create the cap space. They could have up to $47 million in space this offseason.
Man, that's a star for sure.
So you've got Wemby, and then you can go big game hunting in free agency. I mean, all of a sudden, the Spurs, you got Keldon Johnson. I mean,
Trey Jones,
Devin Vassell.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, if you add the right player to that mix with the almost $50 million in cap space to go along with Wembanyama, all of a sudden, San Antonio goes from whatever to wait a minute. I mean, you could make the argument maybe they're kind of next year's Kings.
Yeah.
With that movement.
Yeah.
If they add the right mix with Pop, with Wemby, if they add the right 1 or 2 veterans, whether it's a superstar or, other guys who are all-stars, you could be talking about a 40-45 win team next year.
Watch that pendulum swing.
Yeah, so it's a very
Wembanyama's got to come in, and he's averaged 21-4 and 21-8, 21 and 10.4 over in France. He's got to give you that 20 and 10 right out the gate.
Yeah,
like this guy's got to give you 20 and 10 for this to be for the plan to go, what you're talking about, Nick. For these guys to take the jump and the pendulum to swing to make it to the playoffs. If he can deliver 20 and 10, that's big numbers for a guy walking in his first year.
TCG, yes. He reminds me of Jeremy Sohan, also obviously a part of that young core. So they've got some young, talented pieces. Now they add a generational talent in Wembanyama, and they've got $50 million cap space. They can add a star if they can.
That's always getting blessed, Nick.
So that's the Spurs. Then we move on to Charlotte at 2. Interesting, JJ, Simone. Charlotte has the second pick. Of course, they have LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
Everybody figured, hey, look, whoever finishes second in this draft lottery will end up drafting Scoot Henderson. Very interesting situation. Do you do that? Do you play those 2 guys together, LaMelo and Scoot? Does Scoot want to run his own team, quote unquote, because LaMelo ain't stepping aside? So that now leaves Charlotte with a very interesting decision. Do you draft Brandon Miller at number 2? If you don't love Miller, Do you try to trade down? You know, kind of almost like a la NFL with a quarterback. Like if you don't love Brandon Miller, and remember, Miller had the off-the-court stuff at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that could get in the way. But, you know, if you don't love Brandon Miller, you could actually entertain trading that pick. Now, I think you got to make the pick if you're Charlotte because you just need talent. But a very interesting decision now. Everybody would say 100 out of 100 would have been Scoot, but because it's Charlotte, maybe not so much.
And as we talk about the effect of that pick affecting the Kings, now we got PJ Washington, that's the 4. I think Brandon falls in at the 3. You got Gordon Hayward there, but on paper he might play the 4, which means you push PJ Washington probably out the door, which means come on now, Sacramento, wave your hands in the air.
It's a fantastic point, JJ. This makes it more likely that PJ Washington leaves because if you do draft Miller will slide into that front court. And you're not going to pay PJ Washington $20 million.
Not at all.
When you have Brandon Miller there. Then you get to Portland. Woo, doggy.
Come on.
Fascinating. So Portland, Portland ends up landing the 3rd pick. They were in the 5th pick, the slot for the 5th pick. They end up landing the 3rd pick in the draft. And now, of course, the question is, look, to me, you don't have to necessarily choose a path. You could try to do what the Warriors did and keep Dame and say, well, we got our legend here, and now we're going to draft the future. Of course, if Scoot falls down to 3, now Portland has a very tough decision. You know, do you draft Scoot at 3 and you groom him to take over for Dame? Do you trade Dame and get a bunch of picks and you build your future around Scoot? I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do. There's a lot of different things. It's going to be a fascinating situation in Portland. Do they trade the pick? Do they keep the pick? Do they trade Dame? Do they keep Dame? You know, does Dame now look at this and say, oh, no, we got a top 3 pick. I'm more willing to stay. So Portland we got to keep eyes on Portland.
I think Dame, it really depends on if Dame stands on what he said. He said numerous times in the postseason, after the season, that he is not willing to sit around and play grandfather to all the youngsters. He does not want to be in a rebuild. He said that a couple times. We've played that sound 2 or 3 different times that he does not want to do that.
What could you get for the 3 pick?
See, I think you have to go to Dame, and really now is the time you have to go to him and say, look, man, do you want to be a part of this? And if that's the case, we have the 3rd pick, we can go try, and that answers your question. Or we love you, brother, but we think Scoot is transitional, and, you know, we're going to honor you and again, respect what you want, your wishes, and we're going to send you out the door.
Man, oh, man. The Rockets, by the way, and the Pistons, they both drop. They sunk like stones. Houston went from 2 to 4. I would say that pick is tradable. Ime Udoka's there.
Yeah.
All the James Harden rumors. You go out, you land Harden, you trade the 4th pick for a vet, and now all of a sudden you got Ime with Harden and somebody else. And, you know, there's been rumors about Jalen Green maybe being on the block.
Mm-hmm.
So
send them on over.
They could transform that team in one offseason. Houston could. So
on top of, I don't think they moved Jabari because you just picked them, but you also have some other big body guys, wing guys.
Yeah.
That you could pilfer from Houston.
And Detroit goes to 5. I mean, if you're Detroit, I think you're done with the whole young draft process. You've got like 4 young guys on that. If you can trade that pick to bring somebody in who's solidified, I think you do that. I think you bring in somebody solidified if you can find that person. So, man, it's all going to shake out. Very interesting stuff. All right, I got to give away a Sebastian Maniscalco ticket, so let's do it right now. 1-800-920-1140 is the Folsom Lake Honda hotline, also the contest line. Caller number 6 to that contest line, 1-800-920-1140, gets a pair of tickets to check out Sebastian Maniscalco at Hard Rock Live in Wheatland. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. Congratulations to caller number 6 at 1-800-920-1140. And we'll wrap things up with a very interesting comment from Devontae Adams and what it might mean for the future of the Raiders. We'll get to that next.
Lovable, squeezable, Nick.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Dude, if I bought the Giants, my favorite baseball team, the very first special advisor to the owner would be Will Clark. And he would sit next to me and we would hang out and I would pay him an ungodly amount of money so he could pretend to be my friend. And I'd be like, hey, Thrill, what can I do? Like, what do you want? He'd be like, well, Dave, I won't. Because that's how he talks. I want to manage the Giants. Done. Will Clark, new manager.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
It's the wine event of the year. Don't miss the Lodi Wine Experience, May 19th and 20th. An iconic weekend of world-class wines, delicious food, and live music at Lodi Lake Park. Tickets at LodiWineExperience.com. Must be 21 and over.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at Babbel.com/TNC.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day, and they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now try Babbel free. Text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
Family-owned Clark & Rush, celebrating 60 years of serving Sacramento. It's time to convert your gas water heater and furnace to electric. Just turn to the experts at Clark & Rush and Carrier. We electrify more homes than any other contractor in Sacramento. Plus, we'll help you get up to $6,500 in utility rebates. We'll even do the paperwork. Call or visit clark-rush.com.
Smart energy savings is what we do. Clark and Rush.
Call 916-245-2829.
M&S Auto Sales is grateful for their many repeat customers. Ask one, and they might say they come back because it's the best car buying experience. Others come back to get the vehicle they want and save a ton of cash on a clean, late model, top-selling vehicle that they can be proud to own. The team at M&S Auto welcomes you, including first-time buyers. El Camino Avenue, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, as the A's continue to search for the right combinations after a tough start, one of the newcomers is outfielder J.J. Bleday. Drafted 4th overall by the Marlins out of Vandy back in 19, dealt to the A's in the offseason in the A.J. Puck deal, and so far so good. In his first 6 games as an Athletic, Bleday was batting .364 with a couple of home runs. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
Ramie back tomorrow. Chris Watkins. JJ with me in studio. Simone with me in studio for this final segment. By the way, they just tipped off the Western Conference Finals. LeBron got a layup, first possession. Had a little bit of a clock issue, so they were a couple of minutes late. But they are underway, Nuggets, Lakers. And I'm sure many of you are watching the game while listening to us. So Interesting series. JJ and I have the Nuggets in 6.
Lakers in 6.
Unfortunately. Snug Moan, the heel today, picks the Lakers to win the series. So
What's wrong with you, Simone?
Nuggets in 5.
By the way, if I were, can I tell you, if I were the Lakers and D'Angelo Russell pulled up from 18 feet, 5 seconds into the shot clock, I would sit his ass down for the rest of the series.
Come here, sit down.
What are we doing? All right, let's end the day on some football because I found this very interesting. So Davante Adams, year 1 with the Raiders, pretty good. 100 catches, over 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns. That was with an uneven quarterback in Derek Carr, who was not great last year. It was also with, Adams transitioning to a new offense, the new coaching staff, all that stuff from Green Bay. And Adams sat down with the Ringer, and here's what he said. This really jumped out at me. The front office think this is the best bet for us right now to put us in a position to be urgent. We don't see eye to eye on what we think is best for us right now. So there's Adams telling you, my God, that was the worst shot I've ever seen LeBron James take.
Brick.
My goodness. Turnaround jump shot from the elbow that hit the glass and nothing but the glass.
Didn't even hit the little square on the glass.
So we don't see eye to eye. That is your best offensive player publicly saying, yeah, I don't agree with the plan. I don't agree with the vision. Adams added that it ultimately all depends on the style of ball that we play. With Jimmy G at quarterback, if we play a certain brand of ball, I can get Garoppolo to conform to whatever.
Trusting in that's Garoppolo in anything.
Davante Adams is like, if I can get Garoppolo to conform, if I can get him to play my brand of football, we're fine. Yikes.
I don't.
It's
That's
intense.
a wide receiver pulling stroke on a quarterback. And then he says, but if we use him, talking about Garoppolo, but if we use him a certain type of way, it's going to make it tough for us to maximize who we should be this year. So Davante Adams in one fell swoop tells the Ringer that I disagree with what the front office is telling me, and I don't believe in the quarterback.
No, I wouldn't.
This is year 2.
First team All-Pro last year.
My
And with the Packers.
goodness.
1,500 yards.
This is not ideal from wide receiver 1. If you're the Raiders, not ideal. It's not ideal that he went public. It's not ideal what he's saying. It's not ideal for Jimmy Garoppolo. And JJ, Simone, if you're the Raiders, the thing you need with Jimmy Garoppolo is buy-in. Like the Niners, the locker room bought in to Jimmy G.
Too much.
Even though at least some of us, if not many of us, didn't really quite believe that Garoppolo was any better than a slightly above average quarterback at his best. That locker room, Kyle Shanahan had them locked.
Truth.
And they would not, none of them would really say much at all about Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Other than he's great, we love him, whatever.
Right.
Going out way to praise him.
Yeah, we'll run through a wall for him.
And now you got Davante Adams saying this publicly. And let's not forget, Josh McDaniels' history with locker rooms and players is not great.
Yes.
So you had some rumblings last year, and now before you even get to camp, you got your wide receiver 1 saying this.
I said this in our meeting. Josh McDaniels at this point should be the all-time New England Patriots offensive coordinator. He has a house full of problems, and you alluded to that right there as the head cat in charge. To me, Adams is not a guy you don't want happy. You don't want him unhappy, right?
No,
you definitely don't.
You want him buying into the program, believing in the quarterback, all of that.
And he left a pretty good situation in Green Bay to come to Las Vegas to play with his college buddy and his friend. But even at the end, when he said, look, this is business, I would love for Derek to be here, but I understand. And he sat back, he said that he wanted to kind of be, involved in who they went and grabbed the quarterback. If I remember, it wasn't so much as like, yes, I need to be, but he was like, it wouldn't be bad if I was, a part of that decision making. Yeah. And so it's very interesting now that you've went and got Jimmy G, and now he's coming out right now. Season's not even started. I mean, voluntary camps are not even going on, and he's done. He's already kind of put his hands in the air.
He hasn't even had a chance to work with Garoppolo. And he's like, if if he's getting with my program, then we could be on the same page. But if he's not going to if he doesn't believe in what I think we can do well offensively, then we're not going to be able to reach our potential.
Jimmy G effect.
I mean, this is, again, it's not ideal. I'm not telling you that it's over. I mean, we're months away from the season kicking off, but you do not want before camp your wide receiver one.
Simone, you love everybody. I mean, do you have love for Jimmy G?
No, I think he's very mid. I think that this is a ploy to just cover your ground just in case things don't work out. This is just a little collateral. Ooh, maybe it's not going to work out here.
I love the Jimmy G mid thing. All right, thanks to Kyle. Thanks to Simone as well. JJ, great stuff, subbing in for Ramie. Ramie back tomorrow. Until then, everybody be good, be well, be safe, be healthy. It's Cattles and Ramie on Sactown Sports.
The third pick belongs to the Portland Trailblazers. The second pick will be made by the Charlotte Hornets. And that means that the number one pick in the 2023 NBA draft goes to the San Antonio Spurs.
Remember what I taught you. Keep your heart, 3 stacks. Keep your heart. Hey, keep your heart, 3 stacks. Keep your heart. Man, these girls